Antonio's Sports Star, your home for the Cowboys. KTFM Floresville and SASportsStar.com. San Antonio's Sports Center.
We go from in to off tonight as the NBA playoffs finalize the play-ins at the 8th seed. First, we get Miami taking on Atlanta. The tip-off set for 6, followed by the Mavs heading to Memphis as they take on the Grizz with a tip-off for 8:30. You can catch both games on San Antonio's ESPN AM 1250 and 103.3 FM. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Yeah. We made it, Rob. We made it to the end of the week.
We're almost there.
It's been a long week.
Almost there. It has been an interminably long and, despite your presence, absolutely awful week. But I'm ready to put a cherry on top of this thing and move on.
This thing. The good thing about next week is it'll probably be better.
It couldn't be worse. I can.
You
tell
know
you
what
that.
I mean? You know what I mean?
I can tell you that. I got play in, playoff. We're going from the end to the off.
The last of the ends. Tomorrow we get the offs.
I prefer the offs.
I do too. Although, I mean, what we get tonight, I guess it kind of is now a playoff game because the winner moves on, the loser is eliminated.
Yeah, so it is playoff, but we can't say that yet.
I'm going to say it
because they don't get paid as appropriate.
I don't care about their money. It ain't my.
I do. I care about
pocket watching them. It ain't my problem.
Freaking penny.
So what I'm going to say is, loser leaves town tonight. Losers leave town.
Win or go home.
That's right, baby. And that's what sport is all about, friends. That's what sport is all about.
I hope it's better than 2 nights ago.
Those games were not very competitive.
They would be in the terrible.
Heat, Hawks, Mavs, Grizzle.
Should be good.
For all of their postseason marbles. The thing is, like the Mavericks and the Grizz, the winner, the big prize, playing the Thunder. The big prize for the
you don't
Heat
talk
Hawks,
about such things.
Playing the Cavs. Congratulations.
Well, you don't talk about things like that.
The
fandom certainly isn't talking about what's looming around a bend.
Oh, that's not true. Yesterday we heard on the what's the show? I would say, what's the show that comes on after us? Please, it's right here, friends.
Oh yeah,
Clinton and Friends.
Yeah. What did you hear on Clinton? And what did his friends say?
Someone called into the show and he said, "I did not have sexual relations with that woman." No, she said.
Depends on the word. It is.
Yeah, she said, "I don't." She said, "I don't even care about this because I know we're gonna lose to the." We're going to lose to the Thunder anyway, so what's the point? Just get a better draft pick. So there are people with that mindset. Yeah,
that's my kind of dude.
Like, I don't want to get embarrassed.
Wow.
Let me. I'm not trying to get thumped by Oklahoma City. I want that better draft. I want a lottery pick.
Sometimes when you win and you jump up to celebrate, you can pull a hamstring.
You could
just lay out a hammy right then.
You could.
Sometimes after a victory shower, you can slip and fall and kill yourself.
Suddenly the game is a little more intriguing because Ja Morant, at least the Grizzlies say this, and remember he was kind of he was gimpy at the end of the game earlier this week. I say, what was that, Tuesday? Today they're saying he is a legitimate game time decision. Sat out yesterday's practice.
So you say. You think it's a game time decision, do you?
Wow.
What I've been saying is this team is just desperate for excuses. What are you talking about?
Memphis interim coach Thomas Iasalo said that my feel with him is he'll do absolutely everything in order to play.
Oh, yeah.
If he's physically able to do it, he will do it. It's a legitimate game time decision. but he has been he's experienced, quote, significant swelling and has been undergoing round-the-clock treatment.
Okay,
since he was hurt. That means like when he's asleep, there's still someone rubbing on his foot.
I wonder how much of what they told us was absolutely necessary according to the bylines and gambling rules. Like, we have to say something. I wonder how much they said, how much is puffery, how much of it is, oh, he ain't hurt that bad, but legally we have to say something.
I mean, you could legally just say he is questionable with an ankle.
See, but that's really, if this was LeBron, certainly, if it was Kobe, we wouldn't know anything about it. And most of the stars, we wouldn't know nothing about this.
Yeah.
They wouldn't intimate at all that their stud was hurt. Because they're going to practice and plan knowing he's not. You know, I just feel like this is a team, so now your best player's hurt. Oh, so you fired your coach, and now your best player's hurt. But we're gonna go out and fight, though.
For anyone who didn't see the injury, it was horrific. It was actually unexploded ordnance. He had thrown a grenade earlier in the game, and
he went Pierre-Paul on this thing.
He stepped on the grenade that he threw in the first quarter. Late in the third quarter, it exploded on his ankle, and now he had to leave the game for like 5 minutes. So he is now a game time. So once again, you know,
either they're playing possum.
You keep messing around with these crazy celebrations.
Or they're already
this is what happens.
Or they're heading to Aruba. They're either playing possum, or the flights to Aruba are already scheduled.
Exactly. We got a lot to discuss today. We'll discuss those two games. In fact, we'll take what I like to call a deep dive into the playoff series that we are aware are going to happen. So the 6 already set playoff series we'll discuss. Don't think there's much need to break down who the Thunder and the Cavs might be playing. I will be picking Thunder in 4, Cavs in 4. Just throw that out there. I don't. That's how confident I am. I don't even know who they're playing. Wow. Thunder's in 4, maybe Cavs in 5.
I was going to say I'm going to put my money on Cavs in 5 just because they're the Cavs. They're new.
Fair enough. They're new in town. All right. But Thunder in 4, I feel pretty comfortable with.
I think going to go Mo Malone on this.
And then we'll talk about Aaron Rodgers.
He's been too quiet, and he'll tell you.
We had a discussion yesterday at lunch about Aaron Rodgers, and I wonder if Pat McAfee really likes Aaron Rodgers, or he just understands the value of Aaron Rodgers. Like, is he just using Aaron? Because I can't imagine that they're like buddies.
I don't think Aaron's buddies with anybody.
I don't think so either.
You know, he's by himself.
But we'll talk about that.
So he's like a cat. If you appreciate that, you could hang around Aaron. He's a cat.
No.
Yeah, he is. He's a human cat.
But he's a cat that poops on the floor and then rubs it in with his paw.
Oh, he's an a-hole cat.
And then just stares at you while you clean up the poop.
I've had a cat that would look at you and push something off the table.
He'll walk.
That's Aaron.
He'll walk right up to the litter box. He'll put his front paws in, and he'll take a dump on the outside. And then
Aaron,
walk away.
Just like a cat, my cat would go get the kitty litter and just space out for about 6 hours and just roll around like it was. Mm-hmm. Aaron has to go lick a frog or two now. He's a human cat. So
maybe that's what it is.
They just kind of pass through and they kind of give you a little bit of attention. He gives McAfee a little bit of attention. So he makes sure he leaves the food out.
It just feels like.
And then every 3 weeks he shows up.
The whole reason Pat McAfee became famous is because it's like an everyman. He's like a guy.
No BS, brother. Just the truth.
He's like a guy who everybody thinks, oh, well, I could do this. I could just go in and talk with my buddies and hang out and, do a show, and we'd just shoot the breeze, and we'd say bad words, and people go, oh, they're edgy and cool, because we're cool. We hang out. We're like, me and you, in fact, are like Pat McAfee and A.J. Hawk, just a couple dudes hanging out, shooting the breeze, man.
Yeah, they reinvented the wheel on that one.
But the fact that Pat McAfee is like this very relatable person, and Aaron Rodgers is arguably the least relatable person, makes it makes it hard for me to
Well, who do you
parse
think
that they're
is
like
who-
a match.
I think in any kind of situation like this that is this odd, it's a victim of circumstance. And just as McAfee was signing the big deal and had lots of money to spend, so was Aaron in desperate need of a platform. And they met. And the money would now remember, I don't know if it's still happening, but for at least the first year,
Why wouldn't it be happening?
well, I don't know. Maybe McAfee said, I'm not going to pay anymore because he got Aaron hooked on the drug that is the PR. But initially, he was paying Rodgers a lot of money to show up. So I think Rodgers desperately needed the platform as he was shopping his services, and McAfee needed Rodgers to grow the brand. So it was a perfect time. I don't think at any other point, McAfee and his bros would like to hang out with Aaron Rodgers and talk about Jeopardy and going to El Salvador and living with the natives. I don't think McAfee has any care at all about that.
I wouldn't think
so.
so.
No,
They're
but
such an interesting pair.
It's a shark and a lamprey. It's a mutually beneficial but lopsided relationship.
Well, we'll talk about that, including the number that Aaron Rodgers threw down, because he threw down a number yesterday, which I
That's nothing.
I mean, Vic, would you work for that number?
Nah, I'd want more.
Okay, I figured you would.
Yeah.
You're
You're
very
worth
greedy.
more.
You're very greedy.
Get your worth, brother.
Okay. Also today, I'm so generous, friends. I'm so generous. I've got a bunch of stuff to give away. I've got 3 more pairs of tickets for Fiesta. I want to know before we give
Burying
away.
the lead.
I know. I want to know before we give away these Monsters of Rock ticket. Who are the Monsters of Rock?
Like the OG?
No. Who is this? Who are these tickets to see? Is what I want to know.
First of all, we need to define the difference between a tribute and a cover.
Right.
Because
Let's see.
What you got the details there, Vic? Because I'm not just giving away Monsters of Rock. I need to know who this is.
Well, who are they? Who are they, or who are they trying to be?
Well,
Because there's a
They're
big
a tribute band.
They're
that's all I know.
tribute band.
Yeah.
okay. Who are they paying tribute to? Who are they paying homage to?
I'm looking. Let's see. Well, evidently there's a. I wonder if it's the same bands.
Let's see.
No, it's not that one.
I want to know. Again, we'll figure it out. I'm not trying to trick you guys here.
Not a cartoon.
No.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. It's no, this is not it. That's the real tour.
Okay, you're finding like
Finding like the real
Tesla and yeah.
Motley
here we go. I
Crue.
think I found their Facebook page.
See,
This one
if
is-
this is all one band, I'm
I
going to be
think
so
it's-
pissed.
It is.
I think it's your worst nightmare.
It
Come to
is
life.
your worst night. Look, let's see. What do they perform?
Is it one band performing all of the? That's okay.
We don't
you know
know.
What? I'm
We don't
actually
know.
okay with that. If you come out and you say we're a band called the Monsters of Rock, and all we do is pay tribute to the bands of the 80s and 90s that were.
Oh, here we go. I got him. I got him.
Yeah.
First, I don't know, in no particular order. We have VHT,
Okay.
Van Halen tribute.
Okay.
Then we have Judas X,
All right.
and then we have Mob Rules.
Who's Mob Rules
It's a
for?
Dio tribute band.
Oh, okay.
Those are our Monsters of Rock.
Okay.
Van Halen tribute, Judas Priest, and Ronnie James.
Okay, well, here's what I'll say just for starters. This is good news because I can't really picture.
The same dude can't do all three of those.
No, I can't picture the
wig won't
Van
hide it.
Halen tribute band doing the
Rob Halford Leathers.
Yeah, the
Oh yeah.
I can't picture that.
And no one knows what Dio looks like, so you
Right.
can probably pull that off.
But a Van Halen, and quite frankly, I think if you're
Just need
in,
long hair.
yeah,
That's
long hair. And
That's
it's
all
black.
you need.
That's all I remember.
I think if you're into Van Halen, you're probably not into Judas Priest.
Oh
anyway.
no, I disagree. No,
You think
no,
so?
They were, the OG Van Halen before 1984. The original
Yes.
stuff when Judas Priest was really hot. No,
maybe.
you were
Yeah,
you were
like
all
Van Halen, Fair Warning,
and Mob Rules.
that
Well,
album.
Dio at that point was not on his own. He was with
Sabbath.
Yeah, he was still with
Yeah.
Sabbath playing guitar. So you were a fan of all three at the same time. Trust me, you had all three of the records. Oh, whatever at the same time.
Well, we're going to give away tickets to this show. I can't promise if these guys are all doing the same. If it's one band doing all the acts,
I'm
or if
down.
it's
I hope
three
it is.
separate bands. I hope it's three separate bands.
One
but they-
dude,
Probably
one dude, 3 wigs.
but they're playing July 19th.
2 girls, 1 cup.
No,
One dude,
don't
3
talk
wigs.
about that. No. We're not that kind of show.
It's about to get weird in here.
We're not that kind of show.
What kind of wig is that?
We'll give away tickets to that show later on in this hour, and then once an hour at the 40 segment, so 7:40, 8:40, 9:40, we'll give away tickets to an event at Fiesta.
1 week from we're 6 days away.
Yeah, it's coming up
almost
fast,
there. It's
baby.
coming up.
Coming up fast. All right, we'll be right back. It is the Morning Huddle 94.1.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star Traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Looks like we've got a new trouble spot on I-10 eastbound at 37, southeast side of downtown. It's a stall. They quickly moved it off a main lane off to the shoulder. Through the Schertz area, 35, southbound Schertz Parkway to 1604. We've got 2 right lanes closed, and that has you slow from FM 3009. Also heads up the Passion Play at Travis Park today, starting at 10 a.m. through 1 o'clock. So expect delays in and around the area. There'll definitely be street closures as well as the procession makes its way to Travis Park, starting at Travis Park and ends at San Fernando Cathedral. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off, free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
I don't understand the fetishes of the feet thing and all that. I don't get it.
So what is your line for weirdness?
My wife has really long hair and it smells good. That's nice.
What about her feet? Suck on her toes?
No, I don't suck on her toes. That's nasty. Nobody needs to be sucking on toes.
Well, there's the promo for the show this week.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
Any professional landscaper will tell you, spring is their favorite time of year. Not just because business ramps up, but also because of Gravely's Mow the Distance sales event, where they can save up to $1,000 on Gravely commercial mowers, including the ProTurn 600, the ultimate combination of comfort and performance. Yep, spring is definitely a time for new growth, because there's no better time to build your fleet with Gravely than during the Mow the Distance sales event. And yes, special financing is available. Restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
I can't sleep.
What is it now?
It's the company. It's chaos.
What's chaos now?
The numbers, the expenses, the books. What if we get audited?
No one's gonna audit you at 3 a.m. Go to sleep.
I can't sleep.
You could if you used Ramp.
Who said that?
I don't care because they're right. Go to sleep and sign up for Ramp in the morning, Jerry.
Ramp is the corporate card that handles all your tedious financial operations automatically, integrates directly with your ERP, and gives you complete control over every transaction. Ramp gives you everything you need for bulletproof books and a better night's sleep.
Wow, that is exactly what my company needs.
Yes, and exactly what I also need. Go to sleep, Jerry.
Upgrade to Ramp for free today and get $250 at ramp.com/radio. Ramp.com/radio. That's ramp.com/radio.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank, members of FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Tragically, recent data reveals that 40% of women in Texas will experience intimate partner violence. Christie's Hope is dedicated to breaking the cycle of domestic violence by providing shelter, healing, and counseling, and empowering survivors to take their first steps towards lasting safety and independence. Thomas J. Henry stands with us in our commitment to end domestic violence. Donate today at christieshope.org.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation.
Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row.
Groundworks is the official foundation repair company of Texas Athletics. Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
When it comes to vaccines, it's important to get the facts. The City of San Antonio Metropolitan Health District understands that keeping your child safe is your top priority. Vaccines are safe and can help your child's immune system fight harmful germs. They protect against serious diseases and can even save lives. Because when it comes to your child's health, it's time to get real about vaccines and get the facts. Learn more at sa.gov/health. sa.gov/health.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, the NBA play-in games. Tonight, we'll finally get out of that stuff and get to the real playoffs.
Which start this weekend. A week away from the NFL draft, John Machota from The Athletic will give us the latest on the Dallas Cowboys.
And we've got Fiesta tickets to give away.
The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You're locked on the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's showtime!
Vic just came in with some unbelievable news.
Yeah, I know. Sorry to ruin it.
Unbelievable news.
I did stick up for you guys, though.
Yeah, so yesterday, after the show, we went and had
our delicious Asian buffet.
Yes.
Yeah, which is usually on Wednesdays.
Usually we do go on Wednesdays, but Rob was gone Wednesday, and I was in trouble, so we had to so we delayed it, and we had lunch yesterday after the show. Now, the plan was for us all to go, and yesterday, remember I told you guys I invited Edwin, and Edwin just immediately was like, "No, I've got no interest in eating with you.
Spending any extra time with you or any of those other guys.
No, I don't want to go to lunch with you." Oh, okay. So it was going to be the three of us and Famous James from
he's a news rat.
Yeah, he's down at KTSA, and then Vic had to bail. And
had
so
to pick up my son, so y'all went by y'all.
Just the three of us.
Just 3 of you.
Us and the.
So Rob and I got there about
11:01,
5-10 minutes before Jimmy.
We got there as they opened the doors.
Yeah, I mean,
right.
Jimmy 11. Gets off the air at 11, so we were there.
Well, and we got there at the premier time to get to a buffet.
Yeah.
When everything's fresh,
everything organized, steam floating above. It was ready.
The only time to go.
We dove in. It was like a relay. We just tossed plates to each other and charged.
They were like, "What do you want to drink?" "I'll tell you later. We'll be right back." So we went and ate, and Jimmy showed up, 5-10 minutes after us, and I thought we had a pleasant meal.
I didn't think we were in a hurry.
I didn't either. In fact, I was the last one eating.
Okay.
And I forgot what he called me, but he was like making fun of how much I could eat. Baby Huey, he called me, I think.
Oh, okay.
And
he didn't call you the bottomless pit?
No, and Rob came to my defense and said, "Well, he only eats once a day, so
but you do
cut him some slack." It's true. Mm-hmm. So I eat like a snake. Like
you eat once and it's
eat
good
once,
for
and then
when the outline of the crab legs.
Next time I need, as soon as that's through me, it's like, all right, now I can eat again.
Yeah. Time to feed.
But apparently, Jimmy was complaining about how fast Rob and I eat our Chinese food.
And before I knew that he showed up late, I went in your defense. I was like, well, they're both in the military. We were kind of trained to eat fast, and it's something that I do still.
Well, the worst part of this, so Jimmy apparently said that he's not going to go eat with us anymore. Is that what he said, Vic? He said, "I don't want to eat with those guys anymore."
He goes, "I don't like eating. I like to take my time," is what he said.
Okay.
That's what he said.
There's a couple things about this that aren't adding up.
Okay.
Number one, when he got there, he was already like, "Oh, I don't know why I even came. I ate a bagel this morning, and I'm full."
What?
And I'm like, well, okay.
That should make you more hungry.
If you didn't have to say yes. Nobody put a gun to this guy's head, first of all.
But even if he wasn't hungry, it's about hanging out is the point.
Yeah. Secondly, when the bill came, I picked up the whole bill. I just said,
"Oh, nice."
They were like, "Do you guys want this separate?" And I was like, "I got it." So I picked up Jimmy's lunch, and then he comes behind our back, Rob, and says, "I don't eat lunch with those guys anymore." The audacity of this man.
Because they eat too fast.
He didn't have to leave.
He didn't have to leave. He was already full. He's going, ugh.
I didn't think he really appreciated the food either.
Well, then fine. Then don't come there with us
That's what I'm
anymore.
saying. I think
I'm
maybe
never
he's
inviting
looking
him
for
to
an
lunch
out.
again. I mean, that is.
Next time he just has to buy.
I am so angry about this now.
Ridiculous.
I mean, it's ridiculous.
It
It really
was.
is.
I don't know why you take it so personally.
I mean, Rob, he said he doesn't want to eat with us anymore because of the way we eat.
Yeah, he just said y'all eat too fast, and he was taking his time eating.
What are we on a date? Like,
I don't know.
This
when
is
you got somewhere. Is
it's
there a movie?
bro lunch. You just
you have to catch a movie in a minute, or
you eat, you go.
I was already a plate in. He was late. We don't have to wait for food at a buffet. You walk in, you grab your plate, you're eating within 3 minutes of arrival. You really are. And he gets there later. Well, I've already done with one of my plates. Yes, I'm slowing down. I'm done. That's part of the deal.
I don't understand it. I don't understand where this is coming from.
And I will admit that I do eat fast, and it wasn't because of the military. It's because growing up with family, and
that's where I learned to eat
fast. You get that second pork chop.
You got 3 minutes.
Well,
That's
mine
what I
was.
was. Yeah.
If I finish my first pork chop, I get that second one. I don't get the last one.
Oh,
that goes to Dad. But if I eat my first one fast, then I get the second one.
That's smart.
Well, that was just how we grew up, so it was kind of a ready, set, go kind of a thing.
I used to eat fast because my whole goal was to eat and then get back outside and play. Like I didn't want to hang out with my family.
Oh, no, we were.
I wanted
the
to
family.
finish. I wanted to finish food and then go
back
Well,
outside.
once we had dinner, we had to wash up for dinner, and that was it. We were done.
Oh, it was like bedtime. Like
Well,
you
it
got to
wasn't
get in
bedtime,
your.
but the process of getting out of our parents' hair was beginning.
Okay.
Like, they didn't want to see us after 8.
Oh, okay.
We could go be other places, but we couldn't be around them.
Okay. Well, that makes
Which
sense.
was rules I thought I kept.
That does
Clock.
make sense.
I'm done with you.
That was the way I was rolling too, but it was just I was not in the house anymore.
No,
I was like,
we were just once dinner came around, we had to wash up. It was not. We weren't allowed to just leave the table.
Okay.
You couldn't just eat and leave.
You guys had to the dinner had a start and an end,
and we had an evening debate.
Oh no, that's not
y'all
how it
had
was in
dinner
my
on
house.
tables. We just
Oh,
had
yeah,
the
we
TV
sat around.
tables
Oh, it
and the
was
sofa. we didn't even have a
full-on
dining room
thing.
table.
No. Now my adult life has been around
Oh.
I can eat off the sofa pretty well.
Yeah, my house it was just kind of like, all right, I'm done eating. I'll see you guys later.
Oh no.
Throw your plate in the dishwasher and hit the road. But well, everybody's a little different. But either way, what I did learn growing up is if someone buys you lunch, you don't show up the next day and
you
bitch
don't
about
bitch about it. No,
bitch about the company or how fast they ate.
Jeez, right?
I thought we had a pleasant lunch.
And he could have had a backbone and said, "Hey, slow down, I'm not done yet." And we would have gladly sat with it.
I didn't know you paid for the whole lunch. I was.
It's worse though because he was done. He made fun of me for continuing to eat.
Yeah, I felt like he was done. I know I was.
Yes. This is terrible. I mean, just terrible, terrible manners by him. Rob, that lunch would have been so much better if it would have just been me and you.
Well, I hardly
in
noticed
hindsight.
him anyway.
Yeah,
I'd forgotten he was
that's
there.
enough. Enough of including Jimmy. I'm done with it. I'm done. We got to wait around for him because he gets off an hour after us.
Oh, that's right.
So we could have already.
Yeah, like
lunch could have been done before that. But
yeah, that's why I like the Wednesdays.
Very rude. Very, very rude of Jimmy. Very rude. All right. We'll get back into sports. And on the other side, actually, I'm going to give it away. I'm going to give away these Monsters of Rock tickets. July 19th at the Aztec Theater. Rob will go through the lineup again on the other side, but we'll give away those tickets. And we'll, again, today we're going to preview the NBA playoffs. We're going to get into the sound from Aaron Rodgers' appearance on Pat McAfee yesterday and see what we can parse from that. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Looks like we've got a new trouble spot on I-10 eastbound at 37, southeast side of downtown. It's a stall. They quickly moved it off a main lane off to the shoulder. Through the Schertz area, 35, southbound Schertz Parkway to 1604. We've got 2 right lanes closed, and that has you slow from FM 3009. Also heads up the Passion Play at Travis Park today, starting at 10 a.m. through 1 o'clock. So expect delays in and around the area. There'll definitely be street closures as well as the procession makes its way to Travis Park, starting at Travis Park and ends at San Fernando Cathedral. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radio.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off, free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5%
Wesley
off.
Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-334-2266. That's 800-334-2266. 800-334-2266.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group. Vivid Seats is your ultimate destination for basketball and hockey this season. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every one-timer and buzzer-beating 3 live and in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Don't miss out. Visit vividseats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million+ products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them, the right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Welcome to Staples.
Hi, I hear Staples prints it all.
Oh, you bet. Posters, banners.
Can you print it all for Mother's Day?
Oh, of course. Photo gifts like canvas prints, photo puzzles.
Can you print it all for graduation?
Sure can. Custom cards and invites.
Can you print a huge banner with the grad's picture?
Oh, definitely.
Even an embarrassing baby picture?
Oh, those are the best kind.
I know, right?
Print it all for moms and grads at Staples. And right now, get 40% off custom cards, invites, and photo gifts. N75 exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
If you owe money to the IRS, they'll come after you until you are flat broke. Don't just roll over and take it. The IRS has changed. If you owe more than $10,000, you may be eligible for a huge break, as much as 87%. Haven't filed a return for years? It's time for Guardian Tax. Their happy clients are celebrating.
The IRS was going to levy my bank account, but Guardian was able to prevent that and fix all my IRS issues. Thanks again, Guardian Tax.
Is tax debt ruining your life? The IRS now has special programs. Guardian Tax understands how the IRS works. Personal or business, this is the fresh start you've been praying for. You're scared of the IRS, and for good reason. Guardian Tax is the company that wins when you need it most.
Guardian Tax Service is really great to work with. They really help me out. I'd recommend them highly.
Visit GuardianTax.com or call now for a free confidential consultation. 800-900-1717. 800-900-1717. 800-900-1717.
Progressive knows when you're on your boat, you're already on vacation. And Vacation You forgets all your worries. Vacation You doesn't even keep track of time and knows that time is a meaningless construct designed to control us, man. But Regular You knows you don't want to be too far out in the water after the sun goes down because Vacation You doesn't know how to navigate in the dark yet. Vacation You and Regular You really need to get on the same page. So bundle your boat with your home or auto policy and earn an automatic discount from Progressive. And spend the savings on the both of you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
This is Jason Minix from The Blitz. You're listening to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, the NBA play-in games tonight. We'll finally get out of that stuff and get to the real playoffs.
Which start this weekend. A week away from the NFL draft, John Machota from The Athletic will give us the latest on the Dallas Cowboys.
And we've got Fiesta tickets to give away.
The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Jesus. I like the Marilyn Manson version better.
Yeah.
No. This was the best one. It's the first one.
No, this is the third best.
It's the first one. It's the best
Yeah,
one.
it's
OG.
the first one, but Marilyn Manson did it better and John Cash did it better.
John Cash mumbled through it.
He did it better than this.
No, he didn't. He did it another way.
Play John Cash's way, Vic.
Oh, hold on.
I talked to Jimmy during the break, and he denied that he doesn't want to eat with us anymore. He said Vic is a liar.
No, he just said that y'all eat too fast.
I know, but he said that he didn't say he doesn't want to have lunch with us anymore. He said we do eat too fast, and I said, dude, I was still eating when you were done. How can I be too fast? Everyone has to eat at the same pace. That's absurd. It's absurd. This is old John Cash's version.
Well, you hear this right before some serial killer hacks you up. This is the last thing you're going to hear.
You don't like this version?
No, I said it's different, but it isn't better.
All right, what about Maryland? Play Maryland.
All right, let me look for Maryland.
That one, which I think is the best one, by the way.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Because it's a little scary. I like that.
Let's see.
I mean, I guess it's your own personal Jesus, however you want to have it.
Oh.
You like the Depeche
It
way.
was done as it was intended by Depeche Mode, who wrote it.
Okay.
And I appreciate the other ideas. Especially Johnny Cash. Who'd have thought he'd do a Depeche Mode song?
I mean, he did a 9 Inch Nails song.
Well, that was all in the same record, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was a little more rockin'.
Oh, yeah. This one, was that on a movie soundtrack?
I believe it is.
Might have been. Yeah.
No, this was on. It was on Violator. But it might have been on a.
I think it was on a. I think I had a movie soundtrack.
You might be right.
That this version was on. I don't know why I'd own a movie soundtrack, but.
So this was on the Violator album for Marilyn Manson or for Depeche Mode, and it was on Antichrist. No, it wasn't on Antichrist Superstar. On the Greatest Hits album, but it had to have been on something else. I don't know. Maybe it was on a soundtrack, or maybe you had Marilyn Manson's best of.
It's going to pop in. It'll come to me in just a second. The record it was on.
But Trent Reznor was like, he didn't like this, and usually I wouldn't think that. Usually musicians don't come out against other musicians and say he did a bad job on that song.
Oh yeah.
But he came out and he was like, it sounds too much like the original. Like he didn't do anything new with it. But I don't know. I like this one.
I believe it was. Am I right here?
What movie?
No, I'm thinking of not another teen movie, and it was Tainted Love that Marilyn Manson.
Oh yeah,
covered.
yeah.
Not this one.
All right, let's do a giveaway. Let's do the Monsters of Rock giveaway, July 19th at the Aztec Theater. You want to go? Give me the bands again, Rob. Who was? Who will
we
be
have
there?
Your Pretend Van Halen.
VHT, Van Halen Tribute, will be there.
You're nearly Judas Priest.
Judas X will be there.
And then you're almost, what was the last one?
It's Dio. What was it?
The
What was it
almost
called?
Dio.
Though? What was the?
It was like the Digging Mob or something. Something mob.
Okay. Well, either way, all three, hopefully 3 different bands will be playing at the
least
Aztec
3
Theater.
different wigs.
I mean, I guess yeah. Rob Halford wig versus a Dio wig.
Rob Halford would be just a skin. You'd have to put on a bald skin thing, so you look.
I guess
that
he
way.
could do that.
Put on your leathers. Dio, I just remember him having long black hair. So he could look like anything, and it's gonna be tough to pull off the old early Van Halen.
Yeah, not an
David
easy
Lee
look.
is a rather interesting looking dude. You're gonna have to do some jumping karate kicks.
But if you want tickets to that show, let's go with caller number 5. You'll win 2 tickets to the Monsters of Rock tour, July 19th at Aztec Theater. And of course, if you don't win those tickets, you can buy them at livenation.com. You see everybody doing everybody's doing their Lee Corso tribute today. They're a day late. We did it yesterday, but no big deal. I mean, we were first to market.
A few
on
times that actually happened while we were on air.
Yeah, no big deal that we were the first ones to really pay tribute and respect his career. Now everybody's trying to do it, but no big deal. I mean, it's one of those things where, people copy our style all the time.
Was that Namath?
Yeah, that was Joe Namath. Yeah.
God, he looks awful.
What?
I want to kiss you.
I want to
kiss you.
Oh God,
Susie. Oh, you cutie. Cute as a button.
All right.
I kiss you.
All right, let's hit one last break. We'll come back. We'll wrap up hour number 1, the Morning Huddle 94.1.
Spring is here, and in South Texas, that means storms, wind, rain, and hail. If you've been hit by a storm or think you have damage, now is the time to contact Stevens Roofing and Solar at 210-785-0994. Don't put your trust in an out-of-town storm chaser. Stevens Roofing is a family-owned, locally based company who will be here for years to come. The team at Stevens Roofing and Solar will give you peace of mind when the storms come rolling in. Call 210-785-0994 for Stevens Roofing.
I can't sleep.
What is it now?
It's the company. It's chaos.
What's chaos now?
The numbers, the expenses, the books. What if we get audited?
No one's gonna audit you at 3 a.m. Go to sleep.
I can't sleep.
You could if you used Ramp.
Who said that?
I don't care because they're right. Go to sleep and sign up for Ramp in the morning, Jerry.
Ramp is the corporate card that handles all your tedious financial operations automatically, integrates directly with your ERP, and gives you complete control over every transaction. Ramp gives you everything you need for bulletproof books and a better night's sleep.
Wow, that is exactly what my company needs.
Yes, and exactly what I also need. Go to sleep, Jerry.
Upgrade to Ramp for free today and get $250 at ramp.com/radio. Ramp.com/radio. That's ramp.com/radio.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Robinhood Gold members can now enjoy the VIP treatment, receiving a 3% IRA match on retirement contributions. A very handsome reward indeed. With Robinhood Gold, your annual IRA contributions are boosted by 3%. Plus, you also get 4% APY on your cash and non-retirement accounts. That's over 8 times the national savings average. The perks of the high net worth are now available for any net worth. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. To receive a 3% IRA boost on annual contributions, sign up at Robinhood.com/gold. Investing involves risk. Rates subject to change. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold at $5 a month for 1 year from first match. Must keep funds in IRA for 5 years. Go to Robinhood.com/boost. Over 8 times the national average savings account interest rate claim is based on data from the FDIC as of November 18th, 2024. Robinhood Financial LLC member SIPC. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold LLC.
Progressive understands that bond between you and your boat. But imagine if something happened to it. Without the boat, you're just Tina with too much boat knowledge. Sure, it's helpful on the water, but with no boat, you're someone who talks way too much about knots, and no one cares what a jib is anyway. Boat Tina could get away with it because she has a boat. So make sure your boat is insured. Get Progressive, America's #1 boat insurer, and then go back to being you, Tina, who owns a boat. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Number 1 rating based on boat market share data from ratefilings.com.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com, sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Here in Texas, we know that trust is earned and reputation matters. Since 1993, Thomas J. Henry dedicated himself to building a firm that injured clients can trust and that Texans can respect. A firm where no defendant is too big and no case is too small. Backed by a track record of success and a commitment to our clients, Thomas J. Henry remains the name you can depend on if you have been injured. Trust the firm that stands for you. Trust Thomas J. Henry, San Antonio, Texas.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Push it.
Uh-oh.
Push it.
Uh-oh.
You a salt and pepper fan?
Get up on this. But baby, ooh, baby. But baby,
oh, yeah. We are definitely caffeinated.
Not me, man.
I know.
I need a little punch.
Gotta get ready for fiesta.
Ow!
I'm deliberately ignoring what's going on to my right.
Look at Rob.
I don't want to see the epileptic convulsion.
God forbid we have
that's
some
going
fun.
on. To
Are you
my
having
right.
a seizure? No, I'm dead.
This is how I
Call
dance.
for help.
This is how I dance, like the gopher on Caddyshack.
Like when I'd be watching football and my kids would be doing something over the right, just desperately trying to get my attention. Like, no, I'm not gonna look. not gonna look.
Oh man.
Not gonna look.
Cooling by day, then at night working up a sweat. Come on, girls, let's show the guys that we know how to become number one in the hot party show. Yeah. Now push it. Push it real good.
Push it.
Ow. Yo, baby, pop. I don't know how that band made it. Actually, now that I think about it, was that the one?
Salt and Pepper. They had another song.
Who were we talking about? Where one of the singers from the band, like it was a band like that. Maybe it was TLC. No, it wasn't TLC. We were talking about
living in her car.
Yeah, one of them lives in her car.
No, I think that was
TLC.
No, it was In Vogue.
It was In Vogue.
Never gonna get it, and she didn't get it.
Never gonna get it. Never gonna get it.
She didn't get it, and then she lost it.
She never got it.
Never gonna get my car towed. Yeah, you are. It's gone.
Yes, you are.
Never gonna get this boot off my car. Never gonna get it. Never gonna get it. Rin said, "Did you eat the crab legs?" This place they don't put crab legs out.
That's literally the only thing they don't have.
But the best thing they've got is, I don't even know how I would describe it.
It's not salad.
No, it's a cold dish.
It's like cold. It's right next to the kimchi.
It's got it's got shrimp. It's got mussels. It's got the octopus, and it's got jalapenos. So it's spicy.
Oh, that's what
some other seafood.
Jimmy was saying he liked that.
That's round. We still don't know.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but it's good.
And jalapenos, and it's in this cold kind of pickly kimchi kind of. It's really good. It's the best thing they got.
Yeah, James was describing it to me, and I was like, I don't know.
And they do the same kind of version with just shrimp.
Vic eats like he's like a fifth grader.
Yeah.
Like if it's it's got too much color. I don't like that.
Do y'all have
is it
have
breaded?
chicken strips?
Yeah.
They all have chicken.
Vic's the kind of dude who likes cheese pizza.
Yeah. Yeah.
Any grown up who's like, oh yeah, I'll have a cheese pizza. It's like a cheese
Like,
pizza,
are you-
really?
are
And
you
a
sick?
thin one.
Yeah.
A thin pizza, not pan. And dino nugget.
What do you want on your sandwich? I don't know, peanut butter and jelly.
No, grilled cheese. That's it.
Bologna.
Yeah.
Yeah. Vic's like, oh, it's too adventurous for Vic.
Spicy bologna. That's a little spicy. The bologna.
The salami.
I
It's
want
got-
to slow down.
I don't-
Salami with peppercorns.
The salami with peppercorns, I can't eat it. It's too spicy for
I'll be
me.
up all night. No.
Oh man, it's too adventurous. To put peppercorn inside the meat.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Too exotic for me.
It's too wild. All right.
I'll be up all night. I'll be repeating like a howitzer if I eat this.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I can't wait to hear the Marilyn Manson version of Push It. But
Oh, I know. There's probably one out there.
That's what got him canceled.
Oh, baby.
Didn't he cancel? Didn't his
Heaven knows what
that
man,
first one
or
he
whatever he is.
Rose McGowan.
the one that would walk around naked, hit the first Kanye naked wife?
Yeah, he's had a bunch of like gals complain about him, which I'm not
Yeah, I
surprised.
think he's been canceled. I don't think we're allowed to talk about
But I
him
think
in
when you
front of
mess with a dude like Marilyn Manson,
you kind of know what's coming, right?
Yeah, like you're into weird stuff.
Look into that one weird spookity eye. You know something's going on.
Yeah.
He gonna do something weird to you.
Hey, but
Look
yeah, I
look
haven't
into my eye.
I haven't heard from I haven't heard any Marilyn Manson stuff in a while, so I'm not really sure when the
It's hard to still do that act at 70. You know what I mean?
he's not 70.
I know, but you
Feels like it.
you kind of
I mean, he's been around.
kind of
for a
mellow out
while.
after a while.
Oh, he's got to be in his 50s.
It's hard
I mean,
to
dude, we
slide on that spandex in the mid 50s. You need help.
Listen,
Two hops and a crash if it doesn't happen.
we saw Def Leppard play. Like,
Dude. The saddest thing I've seen in the last 2 years, I saw New Order play, and no, you don't want to see that. You want your idols to stay young.
the singer from the head singer of Marilyn Manson is 56 years
50.
old.
Oh,
See?
he's younger
Yeah,
than me.
he's almost.
How's he look? How's he doing?
Well,
Is he holding it together?
He's got too much makeup, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Who knows what he looks like in real life? Anyway,
Oh, I thought you might have seen him like
No,
heading to the gym, going to the gun club, playing some golf.
I've never seen him. I've never seen him without like his makeup and the
Practicing with McElroy.
Yeah,
well.
him and Alice Cooper
and
playing some golf.
the contact. I don't know. He is the godfather of
Soul.
Johnny Depp's kid. So all that weird stuff, all the weird stuff that was going on with Johnny Depp and his wife, Marilyn was involved in that. So
Can you imagine the priest when Johnny Depp said, "Can the Godfather step forward?" Looked up.
Good
It's
Lord.
Marilyn Manson with a upside down cross and
a white
and a
eye.
white eye. And,
Just like looks like that. Yeah, I'm here with the Doc Martens up to his.
do you
eyes.
renounce Satan?
yeah, I'm trying to find out.
Well, renounce is a heavy word.
Yeah, let's choose another word.
Renounce. Not acknowledge. How's that?
Let's see. He was in 2018. Actor Charlene Yee accused Manson of harassing them and other women on the series, on the set of the series House.
Why? What?
What?
Why was he?
Why was he on there?
Was he just in the neighborhood, or was he a special guest star?
So he's
Like
kind of
Love
like Deshaun Watson. Like once one came out, they all started coming out of the woodwork. Like when Evan Rachel Wood, who was his fiance, came out and said he was abusive during their relationship. 4 other women simultaneously issued statements accusing him of abuse.
I can't say I'm shocked.
Wood continues to make allegations against Manson and his wife, claiming that his alleged abuse included anti-Semitism, and said she'd filed a report with the LAPD against Usich for threatening to leak photographs of Wood dressed in a Nazi uniform. Yeah. And he's had at least 5 accusations of sexual assault. That's not good. I would keep going, but there's like the whole controversies and accusations part on his Wikipedia page is really, really long.
Yeah, well.
Charges will not be filed for either domestic violence or sexual abuse. We cannot prove charges of sexual assault beyond a reasonable doubt, and the claims fall outside the statute of limitations. So basically what they're saying is Marilyn Manson is Trevor Bauer.
Well, to some extent. I mean, they didn't say he didn't do it. Some of them, they just said they ran out of time.
Yeah. But
Trevor Bauer, I think, was exonerated just about 100%.
Yes. Trevor Bauer, like they found.
He was just into some kinky stuff, but he didn't do anything.
And they caught those gals text messaging like, we're going to get that money. You can't do that. All right. When we come back, we'll talk. We'll get into this Aaron Rodgers stuff. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1.
This is the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. KTFM Floresville.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off. Free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
ZipRecruiter is the place. ZipRecruiter is the place for talented teachers, savvy software developers, and master mixologists. ZipRecruiter is the place where you meet all these people and more. That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, so you can find the right candidates right away. It's no wonder that ZipRecruiter is the place for skilled skydiving instructors, accomplished airbrush artists, and proficient pediatricians. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter to hire, you're missing out. ZipRecruiter is the place that's so confident it can make your hiring easier that it lets you try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. So if you want the right candidates for all your roles, ZipRecruiter is the place to go. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, listen up, San Antonio. Multiple tours overseas, long nights monitoring cyber activity, years of protecting the country. It all adds up at University of Maryland Global Campus. Earn up to 90 credits for prior learning, military experience, and training. We call that credit where credit is due. Whether you're active duty and looking at what's next, or a veteran looking for something new, our degrees and certificate programs teach the application of emerging technologies and enduring life skills. So get started on a degree or certificate with personalized local support services and online and hybrid courses right here in San Antonio. UMGC keeps your educational goals attainable with no-cost digital materials replacing textbooks in most courses, reduced tuition rates for eligible service members and their families, and scholarships for those who qualify. Get started here in San Antonio. Visit UMGC at San Antonio or umgc.edu/SATX.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
Good morning, you're on the air.
Boy, I got to tell you, I love your show because it's so educational. I learn something every week. I was shopping about a month ago.
Yeah?
I bought a pineapple, and somebody tried to mount me in all three at Sam's Club, and I didn't know what was going on. Oh, my God. Worse than that, last summer, I bought a guava, and I can't even talk about what happened.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show, Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon, right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
Progressive understands that bond between you and your boat. But imagine if something happened to it. Without the boat, you're just Tina with too much boat knowledge. Sure, it's helpful on the water, but with no boat, you're someone who talks way too much about knots, and no one cares what a jib is anyway. Boat Tina could get away with it because she has a boat. So make sure your boat is insured. Get Progressive, America's #1 boat insurer, and then go back to being you, Tina, who owns a boat. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. #1 rating based on boat market share data from ratefilings.com.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you've got a gas-powered engine, keep it running like new at every fill-up. Stable in-season protection is your engine's preventative medicine, cleaning and protecting the entire fuel system in season. In outdoor power equipment, prevent gum and varnish buildup that could cause a rough or non-running engine. For cars and trucks, increase fuel efficiency and power by removing deposits, ensuring your engine's long-term health. Stable outperforms the competition in independent lab testing. So at every fill-up, start with Stable.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Your commute definitely starting to fill in. Still have this trouble spot at 281 southbound at Bassey. That stall is blocking the median. I-10 upper level eastbound Culebra. Disabled vehicle has the median blocked and road work continues. 35 southbound Church Parkway to 1518 in the left lane. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA. Time saver traffic.
San Antonio Sports Center.
We go from in to off tonight as the NBA playoffs finalize the play-ins at the 8th seed. First, we get Miami taking on Atlanta. The tip-off set for 6, followed by the Mavs heading to Memphis as they take on the Grizz with a tip-off for 8:30. You can catch both games on San Antonio's ESPN AM 1250 and 103.3 FM. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
7:01 on the Morning Huddle. Aaron Rodgers yesterday, the big show. He was on the big program with Pat McAfee. How dare you? How dare you, sir? And a couple of things that were interesting out of that conversation. And I'll just jump straight to the thing I thought that was the most interesting, which is where he started talking about money. Because that was kind of our thought, is like, what, like, is Aaron Rodgers, is his ego going to allow him to not make $40 million a year while everybody else, like, you got guys making $60 million a year? Can Aaron Rodgers stand back and go, oh, I don't need that. I'll just play for essentially backup quarterback money?
Let's listen to what he said.
All right.
Because I think I have a different take on this.
I had a lot of great conversations with a lot of teams. Not one of those was the Jets, because that wasn't a great conversation.
We heard. So that was an accurate report. Okay, got it. Okay.
That was not an accurate report. We can get into that in a second. But
okay.
But I had some good conversations. But I've been upfront with all of them. I don't have anybody, working on my PR staff. Like, me as the head of my PR, she tells me what the hell's going on if I need to know anything. I don't have any leaks. I have a very tight circle. I'm not out there putting shit out just to put shit out. That's just not how I operate. There's been a lot of people assuming they have information about me that's just not true. I've been straight up with these teams from the start about where I was at, starting with the money thing. I told every single one of the teams I talked to, it ain't about the money. I play for 10 M's. I don't care. I never once said I need a multi-year deal, $30, $40 million. It's absolute
Never once
bullshit.
said you didn't.
I said I play for 10. Yeah, whatever.
I don't believe this was.
What a life when you can say, I'll play for 10, whatever.
Dude,
10 M's, whatever.
Do you honestly believe that Aaron Rodgers began shopping his wares after getting cussed out, thrown out, whatever with the Jets, walking hat in hand, walking to Pittsburgh, going to New York, or if he did in fact talk to New York, I think he did. And said, I'll play for $10 million. No, he wasn't. They didn't discuss money, but nobody was thinking 10. This is him going, hey, everybody, Hey, everybody, I'll play for 10. You might be thinking it's more. Hey, everybody.
Also,
I'll take 10, yeah.
I don't think it was an accident, Aaron Rodgers' appearance yesterday. You know how I've said when I shave my beard, I look much younger because my beard is all gray. So when I shave, I look more my age than, like a 60-year-old man.
He was clean.
Aaron Rodgers was clean shaven. He didn't want anybody to see those gray whiskers.
Too old to play whiskers.
He looked young, looked refreshed. And he's saying he doesn't have PR stats. Somebody told him, dude, shave that. You're gonna look a lot younger.
And get your name out there. Don't forget about me. I know the draft's coming. Don't forget about me. I'll play for the price of a first-round draft pick.
Just 10 M's, whatever, whatever. I like how you could just say whatever about 10 M's.
Man, like it's nothing.
I don't believe that everybody knew he would play for $10 million.
I don't either, but now that I do know that, I'm surprised that he's not already in Pittsburgh or somewhere.
I'm surprised he's not someplace. So don't figure that this was Aaron doing this because, hey, my bro's doing a radio program. I'm going to go hang with him for a minute. No, this was a calculated, timed outburst of information to those that might be curious before the draft.
Now,
I'll play for $10 million, and I look great. Notice, I look great, and I'll play for 10.
Now, the other thought is that there were rumors that Aaron had told Pittsburgh specifically, I believe, like, if you draft a quarterback, our conversations are done. Well, Aaron is also denying that he ever said that.
I'm not holding anybody hostage. I really want to emphasize that. Nothing about what I'm saying. I've been upfront from the beginning. I don't mean any disrespect to any player on their team, veteran or young guy that comes in. I'm just going through a lot in my personal life that has to take precedent at this point, because that's a big commitment, and when the commitment is made, it has to be an all-in type commitment. And I know people say, "Oh, well, you missed minicamp last year." It's like we can go down that story at some point for a different time, but not now. I've talked about it at length, but I don't think it was fair to the Steelers or anyone, to make a decision while I'm dealing with a lot off the field. So. At the same time, I want to keep the lines of communication open. That's why I've talked to all the important people. And the people that need to know what's going on. And the people that don't make up about me. And that really hasn't changed since COVID.
So when he says he's got a lot of personal stuff going on,
Personal?
Yeah, so that's what the theme of yesterday on McAfee was that he made it sound like people like us who are saying, why has no one signed Aaron Rodgers yet, are totally off base. And what we should be asking is, why has Aaron Rodgers not started working already? Because clearly everybody wants him. So he started off by saying, like, I've decided not to start playing football yet because I've got a lot of stuff I'm dealing with here.
From the jump, it's, I'm in a different phase of my life. I'm 41 years old.
We know.
I'm in a serious relationship. I have off the field stuff going on that requires my attention. I have personal commitments I made, not knowing what my future was going to look like after last year, that are important to me. And I have, a couple people in my inner circle who are really battling some difficult stuff. So I have a lot of things that are taking my attention, and have beginning in really January, away from football. And that's been where I've been focusing most of my attention on. To make a commitment to a team is a big thing, whether you're a first-year player or a 20-year vet.
Man, so basically, you can't fire me. I quit.
Yeah.
I let everybody know with every one of those meetings that I went to.
I said, he keeps saying, I said it from the jump.
I said it from the jump.
We knew this from the beginning.
Meeting when I spent like 6 hours at the Pittsburgh facility, I told him when I walked in the door, I probably ain't going to take this job. And then I spent the next 6 hours explaining to him why I needed the job. Dude, he's consistently disingenuous. Guys, I don't want you talking about me. Now, everybody shut up and listen to what I have to say. Everybody stop whispering.
Well, he also dropped that he's got a serious relationship, although his serious relationship is with a girl that he doesn't want to say her name because he certainly doesn't want people speculating because that's not the internet. Now, he did mention that her name is Brittany with an I.
She's made up.
No one will speculate now that we know it's Brittany with an I.
So
a heart. Not an eye. It's a heart.
Well, there is a heart. There's a heart over the eye.
I guarantee you there's a heart above that eye. I despise this dude with just about all of my being.
Dude,
everything about him.
I told that was like one of the first shows I did with. I was like, I hate this guy.
The more I'm exposed to this cat, he's the most passive aggressive dude in the history of sports.
He's the biggest fraud. He's just he's a magic trick, is what he is. He's a
bit.
He's like, yeah, you look over here, and I'm going to do over here.
Yeah.
He's a bit, is what he is.
Yeah.
You're a sideshow, brother. You're a sideshow. Enjoy the ride, because the moment you're done, you're done.
Every sport needs a bit.
Because no one likes you, brother. I mean, no one likes this guy. So once he's done, he's done.
I think last year when he stunk with the Jets, and I was like reveling in it, people were mad at me at first. But then I think people, once they started to really figure out what Aaron Rodgers is, they're kind of like,
he was right.
They're like, yeah, it was kind of fun seeing that dude lose all those games.
Well, I don't want to hold anybody hostage. And I've treated all of my backup quarterbacks with the utmost respect.
Yeah.
I don't know why anybody would
draft one, man. Any young guy in the locker room, I want to be there for him. I'm open to a role. I mean, I'd only be making 10 M's.
10 M's.
It's like the money's like, whatever. I'll play for 10 M's. Whatever. 10 M's.
Somebody walk.
Imagine there's somebody who walks around with an Aaron Rodgers jersey and is like, I really like Aaron Rodgers.
He'll only play for 10 M's.
I can't even imagine being a fan of Aaron Rodgers. That's got to be like the most miserable football fan life. I think being a Bills fan is miserable because I never win anything.
Or you almost won at least.
Yeah, and you guys are Cowboys fans, so it's going to end in heartbreak too.
Yeah,
but
we're used to it.
And people are going to talk smack to you because you're Cowboy fans.
Right. It's all right.
But that's got to be a healthier life than Aaron Rodgers fans.
I'd rather be a Cowboys
Are
fan
there Aaron Rodgers fans?
I think there. I mean, there.
Who? Where? Find one. Find me one.
There's
Seriously.
somebody.
No, there's former fans, but they were Green Bay fans.
Now, certainly the amount of them, but there were a bunch of Jets Aaron Rodgers fans at the start.
I think they were Jets fans that then became the fan of their new quarterback named Aaron. But today, you think there's any fan walking around that went to Cal, that went to Green Bay, or went to a Jet game? Do you think any of those people are proud to have that jersey?
You know how many football fans went to Cal?
Well, again. So
I can't even believe they have a football team.
Even smaller.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
He got no fans.
But you know what? When he signs with the Steelers, there will be Steelers fans buying Aaron Rodgers jerseys.
Steelers fans
because there's going to be hope.
But the moment set them on fire. Next.
Yeah, it's going to end the same way. I'm write it down in pen. This Aaron Rodgers, wherever he lands, will end the same way it ended with the Jets.
This passive-aggressive crap. If I'm a general manager and I'm hearing this, if he's talking to those that matter like he's talking to his fans, get the hell out of here.
Well, I said it from the jump.
I got a family member that's really going through it, bro. So I might miss.
No, not a family member. Someone close to me.
Some very dear and near to me. So I'll probably miss every OTA available.
And we could get football. You got to be all in, and I know what people will say. He missed OTAs last year because he wanted to go and do a drug trip.
Like a frog in Nicaragua.
Big deal. We could go through that. I've been through it before, but there was reasons.
But you got more. If I had more time, I would explain in minute detail why I'm absolutely right and everybody else is wrong. Yes, we don't have time.
But he likes to keep everything shrouded in mystery. I'm in a serious relationship with a girl named Brittany with an I, not a Y.
God. Get the hell out of here. Get out.
Her name is Brit.
Do you think any of Aaron Rodgers' teammates, I guess His receivers follow him around,
Well,
but I guess
because-
that's because that's the only way they can get any money.
That's it. He gets them paid, and then he feeds them.
But even Davante Adams, who doesn't need Aaron Rodgers, is still like he likes playing with him somehow.
I think that was at least the previous roommate iteration was a
way to get out of
a
Vegas.
circumstance. Yeah, it was frying pan into the fire. I mean, I don't think when he looks back on his career, the little jump to the Jets is not one part he's going to look back on fondly.
Let's always remember he initially chose to leave Aaron Rodgers to go play with Derek Carr. It's just
so yeah, circumstances they got back together, but they're just in the night.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Yeah, I can't imagine like being Aaron Rodgers' teammate and looking at him going, man, this is a guy that I'm willing to put it all on the line for. Like, I'm willing to give up my body. I'm willing to get CTE for this man. No way.
I question his motives at every turn. I don't trust him. I don't see how anybody else trusts him. So I feel like there's no way he signs. I don't think even Pittsburgh is, unless there is just.
He's going to sign with Pittsburgh.
But I'm saying I don't think they're even going to sign him till they absolutely freaking have to. I think they're going to hope something falls out of a tree, somebody gets released until finally, all right.
And that's why.
That's it. We'll sign you.
That's why Aaron isn't setting a deadline.
Listen, this entire time I haven't felt like I owed anybody some sort of decision at any point. This is my life. Like I said, things are different now. My life is different. My personal life is different. I have stuff in the inner circle that, I'm intimately close to, that it's really important to me. And I've been upfront with him about that and said, listen, if you need to move on, if you need to do something, by all means, like nothing but love and respect if that's a decision that needs to be made. But there's been no deadline, and yeah, I've talked to Mike T many times.
Mike T.
Who's Mike T?
Mike Tomlin.
Mikey T.
Mike T. I talked to Mike T about the 10 M's.
Do you think he genuinely believes that there are people waiting in line for his decision? Like,
I don't know.
Oh, Aaron, please play football. Please play football for us. Please.
He is the worst
Don't
person.
leave. Don't leave. All the plants will die, Aaron. Please stay.
I'm just glad there's no mention of Cowboy going there. Like, no, we're already bad.
Oh, don't.
Good.
It's
Yeah,
not
don't
done yet.
bring it. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
Aaron, if he feels like we're not paying enough attention to him, he'll make sure he is seen in a cowboy hat in Dallas.
He is the worst person. The worst. All right. Enough Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron.
My God. This guy.
My lady, Brittany.
I'm going to.
He introduces her as his lady. This is my lady.
Serious relationship now.
Brittany.
Can you talk about that? No. I keep my circle tight.
Keep it tight.
Keep my circle real tight.
You want to see a picture of her, though?
But someone in my inner circle is going through it right now. Think about that.
Man up.
Going through it.
Going through it, you say.
And it's taking up a lot of my time. And that's my priority right now. And if I tell them all, man, hey, Mikey T, if you need to move on, it's all love, it's all respect.
Did he really say Mikey T?
But I'll
talk to Mike T.
I'll play for 10 M's, but it's not about the money. For me, it's not about the money.
Who was the defensive?
It's never been about the money.
Who was the defensive guy?
Cam Hayward.
I'm sure Cam was really excited about this interview.
Yeah. The Steelers are like, the players, they're all, and remember they came out and they were like, yeah, we'd be excited to have him. I think that's from on high was told like, hey, don't say anything bad because it's probably going to happen. But everyone in that Steelers locker room is going like, oh my God, this a-hole.
They're all like, this dude, here it comes, this dude.
Gross. All right, let's hit a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the Shedeur Sanders and Dion, the retirement of the number of Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter after their legendary careers at Colorado. We'll talk about that and the fallout from it. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1.
It's time for the herd you love. It's time for professional spring football. The San Antonio Brahmas are back, bringing you more of the action, the celebration, and the unforgettable moments you love. Join us for our home opener Sunday, April 27th at 2 when the Brahmas bring the Fiesta to the gridiron with our Viva Fiesta, Viva Brahmas themed game. Bring the energy to the Alamo Dome as your San Antonio Brahmas take on the Houston Roughnecks. Tickets on sale now at UFLBrahmas.com. That's UFLBrahmas.com. Our town, our team, our herd.
I can't sleep. What is it now?
It's the company. It's chaos.
What's chaos now?
The numbers, the expenses, the books. What if we get audited?
No one's gonna audit you at 3 a.m. Go to sleep.
I can't sleep.
You could if you used Ramp.
Who said that?
I don't care because they're right. Go to sleep and sign up for Ramp in the morning, Jerry.
Ramp is the corporate card that handles all your tedious financial operations automatically, integrates directly with your ERP, and gives you complete control over every transaction. Ramp gives you everything you need for bulletproof books and a better night's sleep.
Wow, that is exactly what my company needs.
Yes, and exactly what I also need. Go to sleep, Jerry.
Upgrade to Ramp for free today and get $250 at ramp.com/radio. Ramp.com/radio. That's ramp.com/radio.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank, members of FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
When it comes to results, the numbers speak for themselves. Thomas J. Henry secured over $1 billion for clients in the past 4 years and successfully represented thousands of injured Texans. Thomas J. Henry, the name you know, the firm you trust. San Antonio, Texas.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Billy, your gas light's on. We need to stop and fill up.
No way, Jen. Gas around here is too expensive. We can make it a little further.
Billy, listen to your big sister. You don't need to drive all over searching for the lowest gas prices. Do what I do and use Upside.
Upside?
Do you live under a rock, Billy? Upside is the hottest cashback app out there. It's free to download, and you get real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. I use it all the time, and I've already made around $200.
You can make that kind of cash back just for buying the gas you have to buy anyway?
Yes, I'm looking at the Upside app now, and there's a gas station at the next exit offering 25 cents per gallon cash back.
Okay, I'm stopping to download Upside and fill up my tank. Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code START to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code START for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code START for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Progressive knows you've got enough to worry about in life.
Hi, it's your life again. Feel like another year is just slipping away? Yeah, remember all those New Year's resolutions you made? You still haven't finished the first book. Just 19 more to go. I mean, if we're being honest, it wasn't a very realistic goal. Have you ever considered that you intentionally self-sabotage? So, what's that about?
So let Progressive protect your home and auto, because you've got enough to worry about. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
The best mornings start with Wrangler. Jeans, jackets, and shirts that get your day started. Good mornings make for better days. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
If you miss the Blitz with Jason and Joe, then you miss this.
Everybody wants to see the white. It's famous, and again, should have its own Instagram page.
Your white belt. I
Yes.
don't know. I think Joe's Toes is more famous than the white belt.
Joe's Toes. Well, I mean, you know, every part of me is pretty damn famous at this point. I'm just saying. Wow.
Right home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Why? Why?
Because I can't break through. Why would you do this?
It's Friday, Rob.
See,
This is how we do it on a
sometimes-
Friday, man. We have
See,
fun on a Friday.
sometimes
It's
you-
Friday.
You do it to
Fiesta's
yourself.
coming.
No. We have another song for today.
I have two more, actually.
Go.
It is I really don't think it's hard enough for.
Sorry, Rob. Yeah, just 10 M's.
I pay 10 M's not to hear this anymore.
Oh, no, you wouldn't. You love this. All right.
See her straddling a big gun. Battle.
Whoa, whoa.
Share on a Navy boat. Way Way too many jokes there.
If I could turn back time.
That's what we're thinking, as long as you're on with those Navy crewmen straddling that gun.
Oh, man.
Yikes.
We kind of hinted at this yesterday, this Deion Sanders story, where now Deion is catching grief, which I can't believe it. But it is there is something to this, because Deion Sanders, the one place where he hasn't really caught any grief is from people in the circle at Colorado.
Because everybody's making money.
They're like, whoa, people are talking about us. It's a big deal. But now there are people who are a little upset because Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders are getting their jerseys retired this weekend. And now there's some people going, whoa, whoa, whoa. A lot of people still waiting in line to get their jerseys retired.
Well, in the long and illustrious Colorado Buffalo football tradition. I mean,
well, there were some guys from a team that won a national championship in 1990.
1990, you say?
Oh, when was the Aggies' last championship?
No, what I'm saying is, wow, you went violent there.
No,
wow,
I'm just saying, you're acting like it's like.
No, what I'm saying is, I don't blame Deion for forgetting that there were guys from a championship in 1990 that hadn't been put in. It ain't my damn fault. I wasn't even. You're mad at me because
I'm not mad at you.
Well, if I'm Deion, you're jumping on me because you guys, not me, chose not to put him in. I'd have gladly put him in. I think it's a travesty that he wasn't. But it's my job to right your wrong.
The guys who are in, quarterback / halfback Byron White, which you can probably get if he was a quarterback / halfback. You can guess what era he played in.
He's the Wizard. He was a Supreme Court justice. Seriously, Byron Wizard White. He was a Supreme Court justice above and beyond being a football player.
Guard linebacker Joe Romig. Again,
he made a fortune in pharmaceuticals.
Yes. I don't think that's true, though.
That's not true.
Quarterback / tailback Bobby Anderson.
I don't remember him.
And, well, again, a guy who played quarterback and tailback. He probably wore a leather helmet.
A single T.
Yeah.
A wing T.
And the late, great Rashaan Salam, who is the most modern player. That's number 19.
And he's retired. Not in, even after?
No, he is. His is retired.
But was it after or before the tragedy?
I think before. Well, I don't know, to be honest. You're right. But big names that could maybe warrant discussion. Cordell Stewart is one, obviously.
I'm shocked that he wasn't.
Eric Bieniemy.
That's the other one. I'm shocked that wasn't in it.
Michael Westbrook.
Yeah, all three were on those two teams, those couple of years where they were indeed great.
So they did have some guys who, Ted Johnson, a multiple-time Super Bowl winner, played. He's a Colorado type. So there are some guys that they're like.
But why is it Deion? Why isn't everybody mad at the athletic department, the athletic foundation, the Letterman's Club, the Buffalo Association, and all the people that actually control this money grab that is retired numbers?
And why is no one bringing up Ray Caruth? Why can't he get his number retired?
Why can't we put Ray's number up there? I mean, what he did was in Carolina. I get it, especially for Shedeur. What? I don't get that. I don't know why you'd even begin to retire Shedeur's number. Well, that's nuts, but that's something you get mad at. But the other dude did win a Heisman.
You win a Heisman.
The other guy,
I ain't mad at it. Travis Hunter won a Heisman now, but they're saying he's skipping the line.
I didn't know there was a line. If you'd have done your job, there wouldn't have been a line. It's been 30 years, brother. It's been 30, 40 years now.
Well, here's what Deion had to say about it.
Let's get the elephant out the room. I don't want to talk about this too long. I'm going to just talk briefly and let it go. We talking about Shedeur. We ain't talking about nobody else. But his last name wasn't Sanders. We wouldn't have this discussion. The only reason we were having this discussion is his last name is Sanders. Okay? That's it. It's been so many things accomplished at this university expeditiously. It's been unbelievable. And I think we should be appreciative. We should be thankful. We have a room full of wonderful people that covers us. And I don't know if you all were in this room 2-3 years ago. Very few. Okay, but I mean, it's a new day. We're doing things a little different. I think the training table, I think the food is better. Nobody said nothing about that. It's a whole lot of things that are brighter and they're better because someone stands on business and makes it that way.
That's a non-answer. What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
it isn't.
What do you mean? You
Elaborate.
Shador, while being very talented, had average numbers for 2 years. There's no number retirement for anybody else, even remotely like that at any other school ever.
Well, he did have a career record of 13-12 as a starting quarterback at Colorado.
Does what's his name from Texas? Oh, lefty number 2,
Chris Sims.
Chris Sims he had a couple of very average years. They retire
numbers not retired. No.
Oh. So let's get the elephant out of the room. It's all because of his last name, right? If he had a different last name, that number would be up in the lights.
Yeah.
See, this is. I think we got you on this one. Dion, you did a little daddy ball on this one. Little daddy ball.
If they had just said Travis Hunter's number is going to be retired, he's right in that way. If he had just said, we're retiring Travis Hunter's number, no one would say anything because he won a Heisman. So at Texas, the guys there's 5 numbers retired at Texas. One of them's Bobby Lane. I don't remember what number he is, but he was like a leather helmet football guy who ended up being like, had a good run in like the NFL pre-Super Bowl era with the Lions.
Yeah.
Tommy Nobis.
Number 60.
Earl Campbell, number 20.
Mm-hmm.
Heisman Trophy winner. Ricky Williams, number 34. Heisman Trophy winner, and Vince Young, number 10. I think I don't know if they did it. I know they were talking about retiring number 12 for Colt McCoy.
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know if they have, but Colt McCoy, there was a time when he held like multiple passing records, not just in at Texas, like NCAA passing records.
Yes, and
so like there is a bar that's got to be set to Now, is the bar probably different at Colorado than it is at a place like
evidently
Texas?
There is no bar because it's been their last national title was in 1990. So they've had plenty of opportunities over the last 34 years to do what they wanted to do, and they chose not to. They could have, on those low-end ticket sales weekends when nobody was coming to Boulder, you could have had the Cordell Stewart retirement party weekend. You chose not to. Or no, you didn't choose anything. It was forgotten. It was a forgotten thing. And now they're letting somebody in. It sounds like an old dude's bitching, but Dion went too far. You don't put your boy in. This is daddy ball. This is fake. It's not real. It's LeBron on the Lakers. It's fake. It's not real.
Texas did retire number 12. It's A&M has no retired football numbers, huh?
Well, for the longest time, you couldn't even buy a jersey number other than 12 for the 12th man. And then once Johnny got in the running, you can buy 12 or 2 now.
Okay.
But there's no retired numbers now.
I could see, would you be mad if they retired number 2?
No, not at all.
Won a Heisman, right?
No, I have no problem with retiring numbers. I think it's a worthy aspiration for every player to aspire to the fact that I am so good, nobody else can ever put this number on. That's the ultimate tribute.
Do Aggies, like actual players, wear number 12 ever?
Only the 12th man wears 12.
Okay, so that should be a retired number then.
Well, it kind of is, but it's only worn by non-scholarship athletes, and that's about to go away. The 12th man, which did die for a minute, is now going to be officially dead. There will be no more walk-ons on any football team.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, so again, I'm not – at the end of the day, I get why there are people who are upset about this because there are guys who have done – who did a lot for Colorado at a time when nobody was talking about Colorado. But I also see Dion's point that all of you only care now because –
Right. You had 30 years to take care of Cordell and Westbrook. Yeah. You had 30 years.
None of you, no one would even know that Colorado had retired numbers if it weren't for me. That's a lot of power that Dion's got there. Right. So if he wants to retire number 2, all right, I guess.
But that's the Heisman winner, not your son.
Well, apparently he can do both.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But you know it. I know it. Colorado Buffalo know it. Mama know it. That's daddy ball. That's daddy ball. I mean, you are brawny.
Kind of.
You guys get along real well. Yeah, you got the benefits of the gene pool. You have no Shedeur Sanders is going to be forevermore remembered as a Colorado Buffalo.
Yeah.
Forever, from now on. 100 years from now. Okay.
Shedeur, now, statistically, Shedeur did some
really good things. Really good. But Hall of Honor worthy of chiseled into granite forevermore good? Are you crazy?
64 touchdowns, 13 picks in his career. And I laughed at it because he went 13-12 as a starter at Colorado, but I would imagine there's probably not a lot of guys with 13 wins as a quarterback at Colorado ever. But
no, not. But that's just because your team has forever sucked, you don't reward average.
You're right. No, you're right.
You know, congratulations, you've reached average. Here, let's put you forevermore. You are now Mendoza. The Mendoza line is now the Shedeur Sanders line.
Yep.
You got to be 13-12 at quarterback to even think about entering that great Buffalo Hall of Honor.
All right, when we come back, we'll give away some tickets. We'll do which one should we do? We'll do Nyosa. We didn't do that at 7:00 yesterday, so we'll give away some Nyosa tickets coming up next. It is the Morning Huddle 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I got to tell you about Karbach Brewing. Karbach all over San Antonio, baby. Great beer all over town. You're going to be able to try some of that while you're at Fiesta. Eric came on last week. He's like, oh, yeah, we're going to be sampling, which means free beer, which is pretty awesome. And there's going to be beer for purchase all over Fiesta. So if you haven't had any Karbach, Fiesta's a great time to give it a shot. They've got something for everybody's taste. If you're looking for something light, the Love Street is their best seller. It's their Kolsch-style blonde ale that is just really, really light, really crisp, really refreshing. They also do an IPA called Hopadillo. It is a very punch-you-in-the-face kind of hop-heavy IPA. Very, very flavorful, very delicious. They even have a Hopadillo Imperial right now, which is the double Hopadillo, 9.9%. So not only is it loaded with flavor, it'll get the job done too. And, of course, I'm a big fan of the Box. Crawford Bock is my favorite. I think it's a great everyday drinker. I think it's great when it's cold outside, great when it's hot outside, just a perfect all-around beer. Something for everybody in their lineup, and like I said, all over San Antonio, including at Fiesta, including all the bars and restaurants you're going to. So when you're out and about, you're partying it up at Fiesta, go ahead and ask your volunteer to pour you up some Karbach.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Still dealing with a couple of trouble spots on the north side, 281 southbound at Bassie. It's a broken down vehicle. It's blocking the median. And then on the south side of downtown on I-10, westbound Probant, that stall has been moved off a main lane, now off to the shoulder. Also a heads up for later on this midday from 10 to 1. The Passion Play will happen at Travis Park, so expect delays in and around the area, some closures as well. It will end at San Fernando Cathedral. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off, free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
I don't understand the fetishes of the feet thing and all that. I don't get it.
So what is your line for weirdness?
My wife has really long hair and it smells good. That's nice.
What about her feet? Suck on her toes?
No, I don't suck on her toes. That's nasty. Nobody needs to be sucking on toes.
Well, there's the promo for the show this week.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
Progressive knows when you're on your boat, you're already on vacation. And Vacation You forgets all your worries. Vacation You doesn't even keep track of time and knows that time is a meaningless construct designed to control us, man. But Regular You knows you don't want to be too far out in the water after the sun goes down because Vacation You doesn't know how to navigate in the dark yet. Vacation You and Regular You really need to get on the same page. So bundle your boat with your home or auto policy and earn an automatic discount from Progressive. And spend the savings on the both of you.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Hi, everybody. Joe Reinagle here for the Golf Club of Texas. I absolutely love the Golf Club of Texas. They've made so many improvements to the golf course, from brand new cart paths to resodding the greens and fairways. You might think it's a private club, but it's not. It's open to the public 7 days a week. Best rates are always online at golfclubtexas.com. That's golfclubtexas.com. The Golf Club of Texas, you know where it is, right there off Briggs Ranch Road off Highway 90. The Golf Club of Texas is the friendliest golf course in Texas.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
So, your small business is outgrowing your garage. You could go online, find a space, and get catfished. Or you could work with an agent who's a realtor, here to guide and help protect you from the surprises you didn't see coming. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. Right by you.
If you owe money to the IRS, they'll come after you until you are flat broke. Don't just roll over and take it. The IRS has changed. If you owe more than $10,000, you may be eligible for a huge break, as much as 87%. Haven't filed a return for years? It's time for Guardian Tax. Their happy clients are celebrating.
The IRS was going to levy my bank account, but Guardian was able to prevent that and fix all my IRS issues. Thanks again, Guardian Tax.
Is tax debt ruining your life? The IRS now has special programs. Guardian Tax understands how the IRS works. Personal or business, this is the fresh start you've been praying for. You're scared of the IRS, and for good reason. Guardian Tax is the company that wins when you need it most.
Guardian Tax Service is really great to work with. They really help me out. I'd recommend them highly.
Visit GuardianTax.com or call now for a free confidential consultation. 800-900-1717. 800-900-1717. 800-900-1717.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, the NBA play-in games. Tonight, we'll finally get out of that stuff and get to the real playoffs.
Which start this weekend. A week away from the NFL draft, John Machota from The Athletic will give us the latest on the Dallas Cowboys.
And we've got Fiesta tickets to give away.
The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hi, this is Joe Reinagle, and you're listening to the home of the Dallas Cowboys, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Friday, gotta get down on Friday. Oh, yeah!
Poor Rob.
He left.
He's not here.
No, he's out. I'm not dealing with this crap anymore.
He just took off.
And meanwhile, we're just like, party and party and party and party, looking forward to the weekend. Rob's like, I'm not looking forward to the weekend. I don't want to party and party.
There he comes.
You know what it is. My friend is by my right. Yeah, I got this. You got this. Now you know it. Come on, Rob.
Just tell me when it's over.
In the back seat. Got to make my mind up. Which seat can I take? It's Friday. Got to get down on Friday. Yes. Let's give away some NIOSA tickets. April 29th through May 2nd at La Villita. Let's go with caller number 7. You'll win a pair of tickets to NIOSA.
Almost there.
I'm excited, man. I'm excited to.
I did get confirmation from Nick. We will be giving away our medals next week. There'll be a couple of social media contests. We might even have a meetup or two. Gather around and give away what we have. So
I like that.
Stay tuned, Bat Channel, to this Bat Channel.
It's going to be a meetup at Vic's house.
Vic's house.
Yeah. We're going to give out your address, and anybody who comes over and knocks on your door, you're going to give them a medal.
Brings a can of food, or
yes, it's going to be the cat food drive.
It's the Kitty Big Balls cat food drive.
Yeah. If you bring over some fancy feast, yes.
Actually, it's not a bad idea.
Yes. Anyone who brings Fancy Feast, you will get a medal.
Oh, how are we doing on the food stocks?
Yeah, we got about,
I don't handle the
we got
feeding.
about 6-7 cans left and half a bag of the dry.
Wow, we're already down to 6 or 7 cans.
I know.
That's a
Remember,
big
I
old
do
bag.
every other day. Every other day.
I know. But maybe we got to stop feeding that black cat that's mean.
Oh, I know, right?
You guys are sustaining life. I'm
know.
pretty impressed.
But I can't not feed the black cat. It's going to eat it anyway.
I know. Well,
No,
no,
Big
Big Balls will
won't
eat
let-
it all.
yeah,
until
won't let
that black cat. That black cat is kind of Kitty's bitch. But I feel bad. I mean, the black cat's hungry. He's got to eat.
Yeah.
But he is or she. I think you'd think they would be a little friendlier to the people that are feeding them. Like you're a hobo cat.
It's biting the hands that feed it.
That's,
literally.
You've just defined catness. That's why I won't have one.
But
You
that's
feed a
what
stray
I like.
dog.
That's what I like about the kitty.
That's what I like about Kitty Big Balls
Yeah,
is
it gives you the love.
that guy. He is like a
Hey,
dog.
you're the dude.
That dude is like a dog. He'll come.
Anything for you, man. I like that. Right?
When he sees me, he runs at me like
got
he's
you.
excited. Most cats just stare at you. Like,
Meh.
You're like, what do you want?
but that black cat is actively mean.
Better set that food out. I'll go crap on your hood. Leave some footprints on that
Hey.
wet windshield.
Jackass! I just gave you a can of food.
Which, by the way, one of them did leave footprints on my car.
Oh,
One of them did.
Well, I blame the black cat.
I do.
Yeah, my cat doesn't do any bad stuff. Chris says, "How does AJ know all the words to these corny songs?"
It's repetition,
I-
man. You
yeah,
should
man.
see the dance routine that goes with them.
I know the words to many
Oh,
bad
yeah.
songs.
I can play a random song. You'll start knowing out of nowhere. Like what? I don't even know the words.
Yeah, I do karaoke in my own car all the time.
Yeah.
I'm one of those guys. I just listen to the music.
Don't.
Whoa, whoa.
See, here we go. Here we go again.
Listen to the music. Oh, we got big plans this weekend, Rob. What's the happenings?
Hey,
What's the haps?
Shark party, baby.
Shark
It
party,
is
my
upon
first
us.
shark party.
It's Easter. Or
We will
Sunday.
be sucking heads and watching sharks
What's funny is
on the shirt.
my brother texted me last night.
Okay.
And is like, hey, what are you doing? I was like,
Working?
Yeah, no, this is like middle of the night. I'm like, I'm not doing anything. He's like, you want crawfish tomorrow? We're doing a boil.
Oh, yeah. 'Tis the season.
At his wife's house or his wife's parents' house. And I said, what time? He said, no plan yet. They do it every year, probably around noon. I said, all right, I guess I'll just go after work. So I'm going after work to go eat some
You're
crawfish
gonna
too.
get crawfish 2 days in a row?
Back-to-back crawfish.
See, the problem is you're going to
Wow.
be judging ours versus somebody probably does it better.
I mean,
Last year we
probably
made
will
our
be
crawfish
better.
so hot nobody could eat it. We doubled the heat index.
It
It was brutal.
It was too powerful.
So we're gonna have to back it off a little bit.
Okay.
But we got 20 pounds coming.
I mean, it's hard to mess up crawfish.
Unless you make it so hot that you cannot ingest it, or
Yeah.
it burns your
There
fingers
is
and your
like-
lips,
That is
and it
true.
was. And trust me, I'm not a lightweight. It was so hot that it burned your fingers after a while. I mean, it was too much. Yeah,
'Cause
it
there's
was too
different
much.
kinds of Cajun crawfish is usually not like that, but there are Viet style crawfish that the heat quotient is part of the appeal of it.
Yeah, whatever we use, which was a new one, we won't use this year.
Okay. You've already got it mapped out?
Yeah, we've already got all the we've had to reserve the crawfish. And we've already
No, but
got-
I mean the seasoning and
already got
stuff.
the
You've already
seasoning
decided. Yeah.
No, we went back to the old school. It's the one everybody knows.
Okay.
The one that's in the bottle and the bag.
Okay.
With the yellow one.
Now, do you have responsibilities, cook responsibilities, or is this all your brother?
No, we share that.
Okay.
I'll have half of the ingredients ready. Like we throw in all kinds of stuff, garlic and.
But it doesn't take long to get the job done.
No, but
crawfish, that's a good thing.
No, the initial. So we also are purging. So we'll get them and we'll purge them in water and then kind of get all the poop out.
Okay.
So there is a process before we boil. So yeah, the boil's fast.
Yeah. Well, don't purge mine. I like a little
little bit of that little poop shooty, little barnyard, little. grit.
Yes. All right. Where were we? We were complaining about Shanor Sanders. I remember that. In the next hour, we're going to dig into the NBA playoffs as we have reached that. I'm going to tell you where I wanted to go this segment. You remember yesterday I was telling you how mad I was that we lost on Patrick Corbin Day. The story comes out now. I don't know if Patrick Corbin was bitten by a magical creature or something that gave him special powers, but after getting his first win of the season Wednesday night, it came out that Patrick Corbin suffered a bite on his foot 2 days before the start that made it difficult to walk. Something venomous bit him. He said, I still don't know what it was. I've never had anything like that. It was super weird. And he had a visible bite mark on his foot by Wednesday morning, but they wrapped his ankle tight enough that the pain was tolerable. He said it was really bad in the morning, just a really swollen foot. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to throw that morning. My wife was really concerned. I came in early Wednesday to get some treatment and went from there. He said he still felt it on Thursday, but he said, I'm not going to need to miss time. But hours before the game, it was 50-50 whether he would even pitch or not. So this guy got bit by a venomous monster and goes out and pitches the best game he's pitched in like 5 years. Is this coincidence?
Oh, no, it's not coincidence.
I think he went to some sort of voodoo queen and that she, lets some...
My question, in all seriousness, I wonder if it's on his plant foot or his land foot. Because if it's on his plant foot, that means it's altering his delivery. It's actually changing something. If you're not stepping down on your full force on your foot, either way, it's changing it. It's not, and if it's on his plant foot, I get it. I mean, you're just still throwing as a regular thing. But if it's as part of his delivery, it might be worthy of paying attention to exactly what you are doing. Because let's be real, Patrick Corbin, you suck. I mean, for 2 years. I mean, we celebrate the day you pitch with a loss. We know you're not going to deliver it, and maybe this is the change because of your form or your mechanics.
Yeah, let's see. So Patrick Corbin is left-handed.
It's also such a prototypical or very typical baseball injury. Pitcher
Spider bite?
Spider bite on toe.
I want to know what the hell bit him.
Bite.
I think now he might have. It was his right foot. So his right foot for a left-handed pitcher, it's his landing foot.
So it didn't affect his motion.
Yeah. But I think maybe he's gotten bit by a radioactive spider.
He is, in fact, Spider-Man.
He's got special powers now.
Well, next time he misses a start, it's because he's fighting crime.
Now I'm nervous to bet against him.
He's been called into the vortex to fight aliens. Can't scratch start. The Rangers off the book. Corbin's been called in to fight crime.
It's a little iffy that this guy who has not had an ERA below 5.5 in the last 4 years suddenly is out there spinning gyms the day after he gets bitten by a spider.
It's an HGH spider.
I want a full investigation.
It's a performance enhancing poison.
Full investigation I want done before we get back into betting on Patrick Corbin Day. Chris says, oh, no, crawfish is not my diet. Hell to the no. Really?
Why not?
And then the next comment, love crawfish.
I love crawfish, man. I do.
I mean, I get it if you go, man, it's just not the work.
I like it.
I get it.
Go after
if you tell me that.
Yeah.
But the taste.
It's all on the seasoning. It depends on the seasoning. Rob has it to where, if it's too hot, can't enjoy it.
But and I will accept that excuse. But if you've not, a well-seasoned crawfish boil is as good as you can get.
Well, and I want it a little spicy. I want it to where my nose I want my nose to leak.
But I don't want to fear touching any part of my body after
that, or wiping your eye.
Or put it in my. I mean, it was burning our fingers last year. It was too much.
You had to wear gloves to eat it.
We had gotten to that point.
Goggles.
So no.
That's a little. Okay.
That's a little too much. Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward
what
to
is
it.
The Scoville?
The
count?
Scoville units. Yeah, we're up at about 10,000.
I was going to say.
So Shark Party it is on Saturday.
Saturday, be there.
All right. My first Shark Party. Did you ask Edwin if he wanted to go?
He said no.
Yeah, he just looked at you dead in the face. No.
Hey, Edwin, do you want to go? He didn't even know where. He just said no.
Also, make sure you don't invite Famous James.
We'll eat too fast for him.
You won't get anything to eat. Just show up and
it's
like
all gone.
I showed up at the restaurant and these guys were just eating.
Well, that's what they're.
And I was late, and it was a buffet, and they were just eating.
Yeah, they were just eating all this food, and it's like, I hardly had time to even eat my food, even though like I finished before AJ finished. I was still.
Is today the last Fish Friday?
Yeah,
I believe so.
Yeah, it's good. It's
right.
it is a Good Friday.
It's Good Friday, last Fish Friday.
Yeah,
enjoy those fish cutlets.
Oh yes, we never made it to Fred's.
Well, we might be able.
We'll have to go.
It's open year round.
We'll go next week when it's old fish, last week's fish.
At least this fresh.
I mean, maybe
blessed.
if they use up all the food or all the fish this Friday, they'll have to cook fresh next week. So next week might be the best time.
Probably. Or
that's thinking next level.
The stuff they bought ahead last year. Still
all right.
have this year.
Halfway there on a Friday. We'll have Oyster Bake tickets coming up this hour. Morning Huddle 94.1.
On your ride to work, it's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. KTFM Floresville.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radio.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Perfect for instant contact with an aging parent. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get an extra 60% off, free UPS shipping, and add code RADIO for an extra 5% off.
Hi, I'm Jason Thompson. I'm a personal injury attorney, and since 1994, I've been helping people and their families seriously injured or killed by negligent drivers. My website is alawyerforus.com. I use that phrase because I know that there's no way a regular San Antonian can possibly beat a billion-dollar insurance company alone. You will need an experienced attorney to stand up for you and get what you and your family deserve. This month, my father will retire after 50 years of practicing law, doing what he taught me to do, help people in need. Stand up for the people that cannot. Use the skills you have to help the people in your community when and where you can. When an insured driver seriously injures someone, a billion-dollar insurance company uses everything it can to pay as little as possible. Every insurance company you have heard of has a very large staff of attorneys already working against you. If you or a family member has been seriously injured because of a negligent driver, call me, Jason Thompson, as soon as you can after a collision. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400. Or check out my website, alawyerforus.com.
Are you a small business owner who needs immediate cash flow? At Swish Funding, we have flexible funding options from $25,000 to $2 million. For the best rates and terms for your business, just one application to Swish Funding gives you access to our entire network of funders, with cash in your account in as little as 24 hours. To qualify, you must be in business for at least 1 year with monthly revenue of $50,000. Apply at swishradio.com and use code GROW. Swishradio.com, code GROW.
I can't sleep.
What is it now?
It's the company. It's chaos.
What's chaos now?
The numbers, the expenses, the books. What if we get audited?
No one's gonna audit you at 3 a.m. Go to sleep.
I can't sleep.
You could if you used Ramp.
Who said that?
I don't care because they're right. Go to sleep and sign up for Ramp in the morning, Jerry.
Ramp is the corporate card that handles all your tedious financial operations automatically, integrates directly with your ERP, and gives you complete control over every transaction. Ramp gives you everything you need for bulletproof books and a better night's sleep.
Wow, that is exactly what my company needs.
Yes, and exactly what I also need. Go to sleep, Jerry.
Upgrade to Ramp for free today and get $250 at ramp.com/radio. Ramp.com/radio. That's ramp.com/radio.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Listen up, San Antonio. At University of Maryland Global Campus, you can get college credit for the stripes you've earned. Turn your military rank into college credit to save time and money on an online degree. Eligible enlisted service members and previously enlisted veterans may receive up to 12 credits for select undergraduate courses based on their rank, and up to 90 credits in total for prior learning, military experience, and training. Classes start soon. Learn more at umgc.edu/SATX.
Hi, everybody. Joe Reinagle here for the Golf Club of Texas. I absolutely love the Golf Club of Texas. They've made so many improvements to the golf course, from brand new cart paths to resodding the greens and fairways. You might think it's a private club, but it's not. It's open to the public 7 days a week. Best rates are always online at golfclubtexas.com. That's golfclubtexas.com. The Golf Club of Texas, you know where it is, right there off Briggs Ranch Road off Highway 90. The Golf Club of Texas is the friendliest golf course in Texas.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com, sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Progressive understands that bond between you and your boat. But imagine if something happened to it. Without the boat, you're just Tina with too much boat knowledge. Sure, it's helpful on the water, but with no boat, you're someone who talks way too much about knots, and no one cares what a jib is anyway. Boat Tina could get away with it because she has a boat. So make sure your boat is insured. Get Progressive, America's #1 boat insurer, and then go back to being you, Tina, who owns a boat. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. #1 rating based on boat market share data from ratefilings.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We do have a few trouble spots as you head into your morning commute. 35 southbound Olympia Parkway. We've got a stall that's taking up a right lane. It's already slow along that 35 southbound corridor. Bandera just past Gilbo got an accident. I-10 westbound Dominion, disabled vehicle that's off to the right lane. Now, if you guys see something we're not talking about, call us on the traffic tip line so we can check it out. But pretty much most all our major freeway systems are slowing down. That traffic tip line number is 210-785-2601. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA. Time Saver Traffic.
San Antonio Sports Center.
We go from in to off tonight as the NBA playoffs finalize the play-ins at the 8th seed. First, we get Miami taking on Atlanta. The tip-off set for 6, followed by the Mavs heading to Memphis as they take on the Grizz with a tip-off for 8:30. You can catch both games on San Antonio's ESPN AM 1250 and 103.3 FM. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
On the Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star on a Friday. Yay! Now, how do we get this? How do we get these breakfast tacos? What happened?
The mighty Iris.
Yeah, the front desk Iris.
Why did she bring them?
Because I did some air checks for her and some sampling imaging.
You did some extra work?
Yeah, for her. Yeah. She's trying to get some voice work, so I put together like a demo tape for her. You know, she was, how much do you want? It's like, I don't want any money. Just buy me tacos on Friday. So I'm like, oh.
Hell yeah.
And I told her, yeah, give me 2. And then I thought about it and I called her back like a minute later. You know, I don't want to be a jerk and eat tacos in front of you guys. So I was like, bring me 4.
Yeah, good call.
Because I know Edwin will say no.
Yeah, Edwin doesn't.
So just for us.
Edwin, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she did bring me a Diet Coke also.
Chris says, might as well boil some roaches and add seasoning, some potatoes and corn. That's what it feels like you're eating. I don't know, man.
I don't know about that.
It sucks to be you. I feel so bad for you.
I eat catfish. Comes from the bottom. I don't care, man. I
know of, seriously, I don't know of anyone who has ever tried crawfish. I know it's hard to get past. I get it. It's a weird looking thing.
Or
But I mean, so are crabs.
Right. But I don't know of anyone who's ever tried a crawfish and go, ugh. No one has ever done that. They'll go, it's too much work. And I don't want to deal with all that. My hands,
They
I'll
always say
buy
that before they
But
try
don't tell me, no, it's gross. It doesn't taste good, because that ain't true.
Yeah, I'm with you. What? Hey, man.
More for us.
Yep. You're missing out.
There's no pubic hair on it.
I don't know where that came from. But
you had an unfortunate experience.
You had a very unfortunate experience. All right. We have reached that time. I mean, we can talk about these games tonight. We'll talk about them during the daily lines. But I did want to kind of dive into the playoff matchups that are getting underway starting tomorrow. Excuse me, I ate a breakfast taco. Yeah, my bad. And kind of get your thoughts on these series as we get underway. So I'll jump in. I think maybe the most intriguing matchup is the Pistons and Knicks. I shouldn't say the Clippers Nuggets. I think is number one, but Pistons Knicks is very interesting to me too.
Well, yeah,
but
for different reasons than the other one.
Yeah. So since January 1st, the Pistons are 30-19. They are the 14th ranked offense and the 3rd ranked defense. They have become a lock you down defensive team. And I think I don't trust this Knicks offense. Well, and then if you take a look at the Knicks offensively, they were through the end of January, they were the number 2 offense. Since then, they've been the number 20 offense.
Why is that?
A lot of it is Jalen Brunson's been out.
I was going to say that reeks of injury.
But Karl Anthony Towns, his offensive rating has plummeted. Josh Hart looks like he's just a guy all of a sudden again, which is what he used to be. I think I like the Pistons to win this series.
In the series, I like it. In the game on Saturday, I don't. Because the Garden is a 6th man for the Knicks, and he's always on the court. The Garden is...
Even with 7 points?
Even with 7, that still feels like the Garden matters. I mean, it really does. More than any other arena, I think, that you go in and you get spotted 5 points for being there. And the playoff, Nick Garden, is even more intense. Now, that does, in the history of basketball, promote extraordinary performances by those that play there, whether, that aren't Knicks. So it also brings out the very best in the greatest. I don't know if Cade Cunningham is ready to be that. I do think they win the series. I don't like game 1.
Okay. Knicks 27-14 at home this year. Good, not like Cleveland 34-7 at home or Oklahoma City 35-6, but a respectable home record. I don't know, man. I just feel like these teams are kind of going in different directions, and I think people think the Knicks are good because the Knicks were supposed to be good coming into the season.
And they were good. They had a good year. But there's also an art form to playing in the NBA playoffs. And there is something about what you're accustomed to. If you've never seen it before, you're going to have to learn it. And I do think there's going to be a little bit of a learning curve. I wouldn't have thought that Detroit was more talented at the beginning of the year, but from top to bottom, they're pretty dang close. They don't have the superstars, but they've got enough dudes to win this thing.
And Cade Cunningham he's becoming that.
And this is going to be this will be his breakout. We're going to talk about Cade Cunningham
like we did
year.
Anthony Edwards last year.
I really feel like we're going to get 4 or 5 really extraordinary games from him.
I think so too, man. So I think this is a very live underdog in the Detroit Pistons here. So at a minimum, so one of my favorite bets on this thing, it's over 5.5 games is -120. So all you have to do is not get your ass kicked.
Yeah, it feels like it's going to go this way, and I think Detroit's got enough in them to steal a game in New York.
I think so too. So looks like we have some agreement on that one. Let's flip over. We'll stick in the East to start. The Pacers and Bucks. The Bucks. It feels like they are a one-man team now,
and they are.
And at some point, maybe Dame comes back, but is that one man enough to offset the fact that the Pacers are just a better team? It feels like
the Pacers are deeper and more rounded, but they had a terrible year. This is not the Pacers that we expected to see, and I think that this series, a win in this series, could kind of rectify what will be looked back on if they don't. That's just an awful year. I just have my where's Tyrese Halliburton been?
Well, he's been better recently. Yeah. Like the second half of the season was much better than the first.
And Miles Turner. I mean, there's guys that I expected things from this year that just weren't quite there. I don't know. I just feel like Milwaukee's just got enough in the tank and an understanding of how to win these games that they're probably going to find a way to do it. And it might be just Giannis getting 40 a night. But I just don't like the Pacers. I don't know why I don't feel like they're going anywhere.
In my mind, it's like the Pacers aren't, because if Tyrese Halliburton has an off night, you can still find a way for the Pacers to win the game. If Giannis has an off night, the Bucks are dead. They're hopeless. And is he going to be on every night? I don't know.
He's going to have to be. I mean, he really will have to be. There's just not a whole lot else. I mean, I do think that defensively they do play pretty stout defense. So, I mean, they can. The front line's going to grab rebounds. They're going to control pace just because Lopez is capable of doing that kind of stuff. But I just think that the one superstar in this tournament is going to be enough for them to carry. That's no reflection on how good I think Milwaukee is. I just don't know what the Pacers are, even after 82 games.
Milwaukee won the season series 3-1 for what that's worth. I don't know, man. It does feel to me like this is. I mean, here's the other thing. From a coaching standpoint, you trust Carlisle or Doc?
Well, both of them are champions. I mean, however they got them, long time ago, short time ago. Carlisle is a system dude. And I do think that when the system is applied correctly and he has a star playing right, they're tough to beat. Doc's, I think he kind of.
You don't think Doc's as good of a coach as Rick Carlisle, though?
No. I think in a 48-minute game, they're even. I think both those dudes can coach their ass off in game. I have no concerns about whether the appropriate timeout or play will be called on both sides. It's just. I just don't know if Carlisle's got the full benefit. I just don't know what's going on with the Pacers. There's something nebulous about them, and then you've reaffirmed it. The Bucks win that thing 3-1. Now, several of those were with Dame.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and they don't have him.
Maybe they will. We don't know.
But even with a fully healthy Dame, how much work has he been able to do because of the thrombotic leg?
Right.
You know what I mean? How in shape could he possibly be?
Is there any world where you picture the Magic making this a series with the Celtics, or is this lamb to slaughter?
I think they can score with them for all that Boston has been, and they've been pretty phenomenal, and they've shot the lights out like no team has ever done in history. But when you look at their starting five, just the five that we expect to see on a regular basis, those five don't play very well together, at least not recently. So they've had to rely on rotations and, finding the hot Peyton Pritchard here and there, and Derek White finding his thing, and Jaylen Brown finding his thing. But when they're all together, they don't really seem to be playing very well. That doesn't mean that Orlando gets more than a game if they get that. And I do think that they can run with them at home one time, maybe outscore them for a game. So if you're betting, I'd give them a game.
If you think the Magic can win 2 games.
No way.
No way?
No way. No. It would take catastrophic injury.
Okay. It's plus 340.
Well, I get it. That's why.
Magic plus 2.5 games.
I mean, that's why. But
man,
they've got the young guys to do it.
They do have a pretty decent. They do have a pretty decent roster. The Magic defensively, they are kind of the team that could slow down the Celtics. They're the best three-point defense team in the league. They allow the fewest three-pointers. Like, they make it where you have to beat them inside, and that's not what the Celtics are comfortable doing.
You're right. This is a matchup that is worth considering, but on the other side of that, Boston, the way they play that game, there's just too many threes to defend. You know, they're just going to keep coming at you, and I don't know what the individual game stats look like Orlando-Boston, but I get the sense that there are a few more 3 points made and allowed against Orlando than they're accustomed to. That's something that they couldn't stop.
All right, when we come back, we'll take a look at what's going on in the Western Conference. It is the Morning Huddle 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com, sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Guys over 40, tired of feeling tired? Testosterone therapy by Synergenics is the answer. This April, the consultation is free. Treatment covered by most major insurance. Don't wait for online meds. Walk into their clinic, see a provider, feel great today. Book now at FixMyLowT.com.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
Good morning, you're on the air.
Boy, I got to tell you, I love your show because it's so educational. I learn something every week. I was shopping about a month ago.
Yeah?
I bought a pineapple, and somebody tried to mount me in all 3 at Sam's Club, and I didn't know what was going on. Oh, my God. Worse than that, last summer, I bought a guava, and I can't even talk about what happened.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show, Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon, right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
At Diamonds Direct, we believe luxury is an experience and not a price tag. Luxury is expert guidance. It's the selection of 10 jewelry stores under one roof. It's saving time on endless comparison shopping, and you'll only find this experience at Diamonds Direct. Our luxury showroom has it all backed by our lifetime warranties and our signature best price guarantee. Diamonds Direct is the perfect combination of luxury and value, so you don't ever have to compromise. Learn more at DiamondsDirect.com. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion.
Hi, my name's Jason Thompson. I've lived in San Antonio for more than 50 years. Went to grade school, high school, and graduated from law school right here. San Antonians have trusted me as their attorney after serious injury and fatality collisions since 1994. My website is alawyerforus.com. Why a lawyer for us? Well, after several years of practice, I watched as insurance companies created their own law firms solely to defend against auto claims. Today, there are very few insurance companies that do not have their own captive law firm filled with attorneys whose job is to minimize what the insurance company has to pay on an auto claim. If you or a family member is injured in a traffic collision, you will need your own attorney. Just remember alawyerforus.com. For many lawyers you see on billboards, your case will be handled by a non-lawyer or a staff lawyer. If you call me, Jason Thompson, I will be the lawyer you speak with. The initial consultation is always free. If you or a family member needs an experienced attorney you can trust, I want you to call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 900-0400. That's 210-900-0400 or alawyerforus.com.
No two people learn the exact same way. So how did Babbel become the award-winning language learning app? We thought of you, all of you. Take Sierra. As a visual learner, she uses Babbel's wordplay videos.
Today I'll share a quick lesson on shopping in French.
Merci beaucoup. Keith is a be-in-the-room with real people kind of learner, so he loves the live online classes with our language experts.
Okay, class. Vos está pronto.
Estamos prontos.
However you learn, Babbel makes it easy. Try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Hunger striking, snack time calling, it's crunch time. Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds brings you the boldest protein-packed crunch you can't resist with mouth-watering flavors like hot honey, sweet barbecue, and sea salt and cracked black pepper. Why settle for chips when you can level up your snacking game? Plus, they're low-carb, high-protein, and made for adventurous appetites. Score big flavor today. Grab Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds at H-E-B.
welcome to Staples.
Hi, I hear Staples prints it all.
Oh, you bet. Posters, banners.
Can you print it all for Mother's Day?
Oh, of course. Photo gifts like canvas prints, photo puzzles.
Can you print it all for graduation?
Sure can. Custom cards and invites.
Can you print a huge banner with the grad's picture?
Oh, definitely.
Even an embarrassing baby picture?
Oh, those are the best kind.
I know, right?
Print it all for moms and grads at Staples. And right now, get 40% off custom cards, invites, and photo gifts. N75 exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, the NBA play-in games tonight. We'll finally get out of that stuff and get to the real playoffs.
Which start this weekend. A week away from the NFL draft, John Machota from The Athletic will give us the latest on the Dallas Cowboys.
And we've got Fiesta tickets to give away.
The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You're listening to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
And this is crazy. Here's my number, so call me maybe. It's hard to look right at your baby, but here's my number, so call me maybe. Oh, what a song.
Right?
It's kind of slutty.
Vic knows how to set me up for a good Friday.
Just met her and already giving her digits out.
Yeah.
Not even a good Friday, a great Friday. That's what you're bringing me into, a great Friday.
An awesome Friday.
Oh, man. Now you're in my way.
Now Friday's getting better right here.
All right. We were talking about the NBA playoffs. I think Rob and I so you're going Pistons over Knicks?
I think, yeah, I'm going Pistons over Knicks, but it's
Okay.
going to take 7 games.
Are you going Bucks over Pacers?
I'm looking at that first game. I'll go all in. I'll take the Bucks. I'll put my money where my mouth is. I'm just going to put my stock in Giannis, and I just think that will be enough.
Okay. And you are making the huge balls play that Orlando is going to sweep the Celtics, you said.
Big money there.
So we're both on the Celtics. We're both taking the Pistons in the upset. Rob's going Bucks. I'm going Pacers. And I think we both like the Cavs.
Yeah, I think I'm comfortable there.
Whoever they play. Now, as we switch over to the Western Conference,
where things get really interesting. Dollar values double in the West.
Let's start with what I think is the best series in the first round, this Clippers-Nuggets series, which, the money says it's a pick 'em. That said, I think I'm going to take a shot at like a big swing with the Clippers. Like, I'm going to bet the Clippers win
like 5
in 5. Wow. So minus 2.5 games, you can get plus 425.
What is it about Denver that you dislike so much?
The same thing I like about Memphis right now. Like you've said it. They've got built-in excuses. Mm-hmm. Like I think firing their coach, they're down. And is there any more? I talked about the Bucks, who might be getting Dame back some. Is there any team who's more reliant on one person now?
Oh, there's no question. Yeah, he is legitimately, not only is he now their best player, he's their coach.
I could also see a Clippers sweep. Wow. You can get 19-1.
Well, we just had Edwin in, and he brought up the fact that Zubats is certainly in the mentions for Defensive Player of the Year. So if you're telling me you're going to go against the best player in the world with a guy that's potentially Defensive Player of the Year, I like that matchup. I certainly like the savvy of Kawhi and Harden. I trust Kawhi to deliver more than I do Harden a little bit more. I do know that Denver's a little porous. I just a 5-game run would be asking a lot of the Clippers. That's asking a whole lot of some old legs.
I'll probably just do I'll probably play it safe and just say the Clippers win the series. It's minus 110. It's not like I'm, paying any kind of substantial money on it.
And this is another part of this. I think there's a lot of NBA types that behind the scenes
want to see Nikola Jokic get his ass kicked. I think it's the same group that go, man, we can't vote this guy MVP 3 years in a row. We just can't. It's not. We just can't. It doesn't feel right. It's that group of people out there that just want to see him get his ass kicked just a little bit because it comes too easy to him. He doesn't really care.
Yeah. I don't know if at the end of the day, the best player is playing for Denver, and often I'll get to it, but I'll get to if things are close, I'll go with the team that's got the best player.
You're describing Milwaukee, Indiana to me. I'm just going to pick the best player, and I'm trying to come to the why I don't feel the same way about Joker.
I'm probably because you've seen the Clippers over the last couple months, and they look like Edwin came in and he was like, "Do you think the Lakers could, or do you think the Clippers could beat the Lakers in a 7-game series?"
Oh yeah, no question.
I said I really believe this. If the OKC Thunder didn't exist in the Western Conference, I would pick the Clippers to win the West. And the scary thing about a long-term bet on the Clippers is everything is so dependent on the health of Kawhi Leonard, which is always going to be a gigantic question mark. It could fall apart at any moment, and then any bet you've got on the Clippers is null and void. But while he's healthy, it's like it's hard to this team looks really, really good, man. They look like the second best team in the Western Conference right now.
And don't forget about Norman Powell.
Yeah?
Don't forget about this is the time of year everybody goes, "Oh yeah, Norman." Playing behind for the last several years, he's had Russell in front of him and Harden in front of him and Kawhi running around and Paul George, and Norman Powell very quietly over the last 5 years gets 25 a night. So there's a lot of reasons to like the Clippers. They're surprisingly big. They're bigger than you expect. They're not as old as you think they are, and they've got veteran savvy. And they very quietly snuck up in here. And you want to talk about shaking the apple cart? They could blow this whole playoff thing wide open. They really could. Where everybody's perspective on the Lakers and the size and the MVP-ness of Joker, and these old dudes roll in and take it to the conference semis.
Is there something to, like how I was talking about, if you bet the Clippers to win minus 2.5, so you bet them to win in 5, that there is if the series goes 5 games, 4 or 5 games, it feels like the Clippers. And if it goes deeper, it means that there was probably some sort of Kawhi injury, and then you probably don't want to be invested in the Clippers, right? Like, can you see it that way?
Well, all I know is the longer old legs play, the weaker they get.
Yeah.
So if it's more minutes in one game, if it's sustained minutes over 4 or 5, yeah, I want more court time with those guys because I know the longer they're out there, the likelihood of a strain, sprain, injury, or just general cramp is going to play in my youthful favor. But in these playoffs, it's you get some rest. You get a break. You're going to get 2 and 3 days. They allow for the old legs. So this is why old teams seem to always just show up in the playoffs because they don't have the back-to-backs. They're not waiting on the rest because they get it. I mean, they get 2 days off.
Yeah.
The more I'm talking myself into the Clippers. It just feels like they're imminent right now.
It really does. They are so much better defensively. It's again, this all falls apart with a Kawhi injury.
And we're also talking about arranging the deck chairs that are on the Titanic. I mean, no matter what they do, they're not getting through Oklahoma City. They're just not. So we're all just kind of arguing about who gets to be the lamb to slaughter before the Western Conference Finals.
Gilbert says if Kawhi is healthy, he has the Clippers taking the West because of their defense, and they are really good on defense, but Oklahoma City's better on defense.
Boy, I'll tell you, if that was to occur, the young superstars like Shai Gilgeous, I was going to name somebody, but Shai's done nothing wrong yet.
No.
Shai has never done anything to take any kind of national abuse. He's won appropriately. He played part of the system that grew this thing. He's a nice kid. He sings in commercials. He does everything you want.
He's Canadian, right?
And he's Canadian. Yeah. He says sorry. And then if they blow a series, welcome to the big world. Welcome to the big time. Anthony Edwards are going, see, I told you, it ain't all easy.
Because suddenly there's expectations on him. He's never had that before.
Right,
Oklahoma City's never had that before. They've always been like, oh, they're coming. They're going to be good. Well, now they're here. Not only are they're expected. to be in the finals more than anybody.
And they're young, and they have a little bit of experience, but and that's just because their best player's been in the middle of games that they've lost. But this is still they're going to go on a run the likes of which these guys have never been on before.
Well, let's talk about the guy who was under that pressure last year, Anthony Edwards, as the Timberwolves take on the Lakers in round one. Lakers about a 2-1 favorite, like minus 190. Obviously, this is a matter of how much do you trust the fact that the Lakers have absolutely no depth. They have 3 good players, and then they have a bunch of guys with uniforms.
Yeah, against the guys that fill gaps. You know, they're not net negatives, but they're just not net positives. They're placeholders.
There you go. Is that enough to?
It shouldn't be.
How long can it carry? Now your 3 guys, and Austin Reeves would be the third in my mind, untouchable Austin Reeves. How far can that carry you in the playoffs?
The good news is the 2 guys that we're talking about in Luka and LeBron are masters at economy of movement. Neither one of these guys is going to do more than what is absolutely required for success. So, and they both know how to manage their bodies. Both do it different ways. But for the most part, once these guys get in the playoffs, you can expect them to be there. And I don't think they're going to tire out. I don't think that'll be an issue. What will matter is the other dudes. Is there going to be another step up? Is there going to be another? Is Hachimura going to grab rebounds? Is he going to be able to clear the boards? Are they going to be able to get those fast breaks on those rare defensive rebounds? You know, because they're going against Rudy. They got a big front line they're going up against. So they're going to have to manufacture some things, and they're going to have to expect the others to perform. I think they can. I don't think fatigue will be a problem for these two because – for the most part, Luka doesn't run 90 feet. Luka is a 70-foot player. He doesn't cover the entire court most of the time. LeBron's a full court kind of guy most of the time, but he has economy of movement. I just think they can govern their minutes better because they know what they're doing. And again, we fall back on some teams are just worn out and don't have an answer. And it feels like the Timberwolves have searched all season long and still haven't quite figured out what they are or what they need to be to win.
Yeah, I'm. You mentioned Hachimura. I'm curious what his health is like. He hasn't been playing back-to-backs. He's had that knee injury now. He missed a handful. He missed a dozen games or so. I wonder if the playoff schedule is a positive or a negative for a guy like that.
You never know with these guys. I mean, with stars, you expect them to be ready given the time that they've got. With guys like Reed, you never know. I don't know what to expect from him. I do know that I would not be as big on the Lakers if it wasn't for the defense that these guys have been playing under Redick. Redick, now he hadn't gotten the credit for what he's gotten on the buy-in side of defense. They're hands on the ground, foot moving defense. They really are committed to it, and I think that above the offense that Luka and LeBron will bring will be the separator. It's going to be the defense on guys that aren't accustomed to being D'd up like that by LeBron, you know? I mean, I expect to see that.
But you also have to remember Minnesota's a very good defensive team, too.
Oh, they are.
They're going to make it – I mean, obviously Gobert always makes it tough to get points at the rim. They're probably not as good defensively as they were a year ago because Julius Randle is, you know, he's Julius Randle. And I remember, like, last year – I talked about it a lot. Like Minnesota's worst defensive player that they had on the floor was Karl Anthony Towns, and Karl Anthony Towns is like an above-average defensive player. So they were great all over on defense. Now they're great in a couple spots, and then they don't care in some. So it's not quite as daunting. But when you've got guys on the Lakers like a Jackson Hayes, who's like is really a zero. Like you don't have to worry about defending him. Well, you're able to throw some.
Your answer: do the Lakers need to finish at the rim to win? No. So Rudy Gobert can be effectively eliminated. You don't need to finish at the rim. You need to be at the rim to make him work. But they don't have to get layup and dunk. They don't need to have the pick and roll high flyer dude to go win basketball games. That's not what they do. They divide and conquer. They split the court in half. You got to decide, who do you hate, LeBron or Luka, and you got to choose, and they make you pay for it on the other side.
So who do you think?
Lakers.
I'm thinking I might be on Timberwolves.
I wouldn't. I mean, certainly, I'll say this: Anthony Edwards is due. He's due. Now the season ain't done, but to fulfill the expectations that were set exactly a year ago, he's due to lead his team through this. And I'm not saying he can't. I just don't like the way that they closed the season out. I still don't think that they ever found the persona that was, this is Anthony Edwards' team and everybody else behind him. I don't think they've figured that out yet.
All right, let's go to the last series that we know. The Thunder will play the winner of the play-in tonight between the Mavericks and the Grizz. But the last series that is locked in is Houston and Golden State. And remember, this was 6-7 years ago. This was a battle of the Titans. Not quite so much now, but it is interesting that the Warriors are the favorites here, and pretty healthy favorites, although some money's coming in on the Rockets.
It should
you
be
said
mine.
yesterday you expected it, and it's happening. The Warriors now minus 180, Rockets plus 145. It was minus 200 earlier in the week. But I am struggling here because the value certainly is not there, but I kind of do think the Warriors win this series just based on
savvy.
Yeah, like guys who know how to win playoff series and guys who have been there and done it, and like I know that I can trust in a big situation. And
okay, I'll ask you the question: How are they going to beat them?
You have guys like Steph and Jimmy Butler who always raise their game in playoff situations, and Draymond for that matter. Yeah. Playoff Draymond is much better than regular Draymond.
So,
and you're going up against a bunch of guys who this is their first playoff experience
against a huge front line. Draymond, I don't know where he finds any space on this court. He's never going to be in the paint, and he's going to have to be the difference maker. And I know I'm basing it on a very small sample size, but when I watch a Golden State team that has Butler go for 34 and Steph go for 37, I see them play as good a defense as they can given their manpower. I see Draymond with 4 points and 3 assists and 2 turnovers against size, the same kind of size that Memphis is going to offer, that Memphis offered that Houston will. I don't know how they win. I don't know if you barely beat Memphis and it took 36 from one of your stars and 37 from other and a bad call to get the win. I don't know where you find that 4 times. That's and savvy is going to be the reason why, but they're not playing as well as they were a week ago. They're not as good as they were just very recently.
I will say I think that Amin Thompson gives Steph Curry some troubles. I think that's when you talk about a player who can find ways to defend and maybe bother Steph. I think that's who you're looking at, and. The Rockets, they make it hard to shoot. Like the Warriors did not shoot well against the Rockets when they played this season.
We have their season. What was their season? Because both teams went through some bad stretches, so those games I don't think count. But when Golden State added Butler, I'm curious what it looked like then.
Rockets Warriors season series 3-2 Warriors. They played 5 times, 3-2 Warriors.
That's about how I feel about this series. 3-2 Warriors.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm going to back the Warriors. I'm not going to put any money on it because it doesn't feel like there's any value to it with the Warriors being such a big favorite. But I do I trust the team that's been there and done it. And
I will say this, though. If Houston doesn't do it, they need to look in the mirror. They need to get – this is a team – that I think at the beginning of the season, when Udoka looked at all the talent he had, that he felt like should be able to beat a Steph Curry at this age, a Jimmy Butler, and a Draymond who's on the end, and a bunch of dudes. I think when they looked at this roster, they should have been in a place by this point to beat this team. And if they don't, and they likely won't, I do think that this will be the first time that Ime and everybody in the Rockets have to look in the mirror and go, are we doing this the right way?
See, it's funny you say that because I didn't think that. In my mind, the idea that this team that didn't even make the play-in last year and is now the 2 seed, it almost feels like anything that they do in the playoffs now is gravy because they've already skipped steps.
Well, no, they didn't. They got they're making up for lost time. They lost some steps before Ime got there, and then they kind of altered their idea. They were going to try to stay young and grow old together. Now they started moving pieces and getting a little bit older. And let me tell you, there's not a whole lot left in Van Vliet. I mean, you're about to run out of time on this, and the game that Brooks brings, it has there's a shelf life to it, and there's some guys that might be on their way out because you're going to have to pay a couple of dudes here in the next couple of years. I think they need to win this series. I'm not saying they need to win a title, but in the growth, they don't have a lot of time considering the current state of the Rockets.
Because, imagine the Spurs next year are the 2 seed in the playoffs, which, I mean, it sounds crazy to think about, but it's essentially what the Rockets did this year. They went from a team that missed the play-in playoffs altogether to being the 2 seed. Would we sit here and say, if the Spurs don't win this first playoff series, the season's a failure?
No, because I will say in 2 years.
Okay, and you think the Rockets have always been kind of 1 year ahead of them?
They've always been and although they got delayed when they had to fire their coach and start over, I'll give them some time, but not that much. But Ime is the kind of coach, we've seen what he did in Boston. By the timeline, this is the first year they start to win. You know what I mean? This is when they establish themselves as truly one of the top 4 teams in the West. Might not get through, but next year with an appropriate draft and a little bit of age, now we're talking title.
See, because I feel like the Thunder have always been 1 year ahead of the Rockets. So last year when the Thunder went out early, I was like, that's all right. This year, if the Thunder go out early, it's red flags in my mind.
Exactly. It's time to look in the mirror. It's not dead, but obviously your preparation, either by manpower, process, whatever, it wasn't appropriate.
Well, I'm stoked for this series. I do think I think you can make a good argument for both sides. I do think there's value on the Rockets as underdogs here, but I don't want to bet against the experience and just that team. Like when you got a bunch of playoff grizzled guys taking on dudes who are just seeing their first playoff action, I'm always going to lean to the guys that have experience.
And I don't think Udoka will take an ass whooping the way Donovan did from Spoelstra the other night. But I don't think that'll happen. But I do think that there's going to be occasions when Steve Kerr has the Rockets' eyes crossed, where they just, where did that come from?
All right, let's hit a break. When we come back, I'm going to give away a pair of tickets to Oyster Bake. It is the Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We do have a few trouble spots as you head into your morning commute. 35 southbound Olympia Parkway. We've got a stall that's taking up a right lane. It's already slow along that 35 southbound corridor. Bandera just past Gilbo got an accident. I-10 westbound Dominion, disabled vehicle that's off to the right lane. Now, if you guys see something we're not talking about, call us on the traffic tip line so we can check it out. But pretty much most all our major freeway systems are slowing down. That traffic tip line number is 210-785-2601. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radio.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Perfect for instant contact with an aging parent. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get an extra 60% off, free UPS shipping, and add code RADIO for an extra 5% off.
The Easter Bunny? He's lost his dazzle. His tail? Flatter than a pancake.
Yeah, no more poof, see?
And those eggs? They're supposed to be spiffy, colorful, full of magic, but the drab, streaky, like they've been kissed by dust bunnies.
And when the cabbage we're shelling out for eggs, they ought to be the cat's pajamas. But nope, everything's on the fritz, and we know why.
Hard water.
Nasty buildup, filmy gunk. It's giving the whole shebang the heebie-jeebies.
It needs a Connecticut. Their line electric, high-efficiency water softness make water the bee's knees. Your skin, smoother than a gangster's alibi. And eggs?
Gleaming like gold in a G-Man's pocket.
For a limited time, get a free reverse osmosis drinking station, $400 off for trade-in, and 0% interest for 12 months. Call Connecticut of San Antonio and the Hill Country, 210-656-PURE. That's 210-656-PURE.
It's a limited time, so hop to it, see?
License number 38961.
Hi, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio where I've practiced for more than 30 years.
And San Antonio has really grown since I started practicing law. The risk of injury in a car crash today is greater than it's ever been, because every day we're forced to share our roads with 80,000-pound 18-wheelers and some truly dangerous drivers. If you or a family member is injured in a car crash, know this: the insurance companies are mobilized against you. They have highly trained adjusters and a long roster of attorneys with one job: pay as little as possible. Their techniques are extensive, and I believe you have zero chance of obtaining a fair recovery on your own. If you're involved in a car crash, you need to hire an attorney as soon as possible after the collision and before you speak to the insurance company's adjusters. Now, I do not have a comic book nickname. I do not call myself the Law Eagle, the Tiger Lawyer, the Law Chupacabra. I think the practice of law needs to be taken more seriously. If you've been injured, call me, Jason Thompson, for a free consultation. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400, or my website, alawyer4us.com.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Nia.
Hi, Nia. It's Jennifer. Did you know that Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Yeah, I work here.
Okay. I was just double checking. Get it?
Because Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Oh, you get me, Nia.
You could say that I double get you.
I guess we've taken it too far.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-334-2266. That's 800-334-2266. 800-334-2266.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Josh says Golden State's going to get swept. Draymond holding the Warriors back. Steph can carry it as much as he can, but Draymond's too old and wasn't that good to be washed up.
Valid point.
I don't know. Draymond is like, but how good Draymond is, I've felt at times Draymond was wildly overrated, and I think it swung back to where people don't realize how valuable Draymond is, even though the stats don't always show what Draymond's good at.
He's not a stat dude. His greatness lies in facilitating, and you'll never be able to quantify that unless you're on the team with him.
Like the fact that Steph was like, I need this guy, says something, you know?
No, he's a facilitator, and he does everything required to make things work. Sometimes it's too much, but no. But the point is right. He's an undersized big going against a big, that's younger and faster, and a front line that he won't be able to do some things. He's going to have to facilitate other ways. I get the point. But teams like this with Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler don't get swept.
I don't think so.
That at the bare minimum, that won't happen.
Yeah, I can't picture a world where that happens. Especially, again, you're talking about a team that has like a million games of playoff experience against a team with none.
It just, the basketball gods.
Like, does anybody besides Van Vliet have any playoff experience for this team?
I think there's a couple that have, had a cup of coffee here and there, but no. I mean, Dylan Brooks was in Memphis, who's been through a couple of them, but no, they're kids. Yeah, they're like the 4th youngest team out there. There are things that they're going to see that they've never seen before, and that's going to be a detriment. But the way Houston plays is perfect for the way the Golden State plays. They should be able to overpower them, but we're talking about going against 3, yes, count them 3 Hall of Famers. It's just impossible to think of anything, even at the wildest dreams, other than a 4-3 series. You just don't.
4 if you count Brandon Podziemski.
there you go. Well, his hair is worthy of some sort of Hall of Fame.
Yeah, let's at least give credit where it's due.
God, I can't believe we've come to the point, and this will be the last time that we look at Golden State and we're defending the age and greatness. But I do think this will be the last year where this conversation will be had.
I kind of think so, too. All right, look, before we move on, let's give away tickets to the Oyster Bake, April 25th or 26th over at St. Mary's. Let's go with caller number 3. You're going to win a pair of tickets to the Oyster Bake for Fiesta. Fiesta. I like how excited people are about tickets to Fiesta because I know everybody wants to go and everybody wants to party, and they're like, oh, but now I got to pay another $25 here, another $25 here.
And, if you get it ahead of time like this, it's all ticket money now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, these are worthy. Keep listening.
It's nice. It buys you basically a beer and a chicken on a stick is what
almost a full beer.
Almost a full beer. Almost a full
Are we
beer.
up to 10 tickets? What are we at now?
For a beer? Is that what it costs?
It's normally 50 cents a ticket.
I can't remember.
How many tickets?
It depends, but we might be up to 12 tickets now.
All right. Well, I'll come with my wallet ready, bud.
Well, that's why you have your Oyster Bake beer plug.
Is it cash only at this place?
It's tickets.
I know, but to get the tickets?
No, you can take
You can take card? Okay, cool. The latest NFL mock draft. Another one came out yesterday from NFL.com. And, you and I were talking earlier this week about because the number came out for quarterbacks taken in the first round, and it was set at 2.5. And it was like,
who's the half?
Yeah, do we think that there's going to be a third quarterback taken? Because it seemed like a couple of weeks ago there were questions about how far Shedeur Sanders could drop. Well, interesting, because now the latest mock draft has 3 quarterbacks going in the top 10. Cam Ward at number 1 seems like it's already a done deal. The market in that thing, a month ago, it was like a coin flip between him and Abdul Carter. It's now minus 20,000 to be Cam Ward. It seems like all indicators are that if the Titans do not take Cam Ward, it's only because someone offered them the moon to move up and draft Cam Ward.
That is a ridiculous number. You feel like they've got phones tapped.
They
got him tapped like, we're going to draft you, Cam, so prepare yourself.
But I've also seen, I'm reading this, and I shake my head at this because it says, Ward is the only quarterback in this draft who has the playmaking ability required to swiftly transform a franchise. He could provide the Titans with the kind of instant impact we've seen from Jaden Daniels and C.J. Stroud. I don't believe that.
He could.
I don't believe that he's that kind of a player.
And I don't. The thing about Cam Ward is you project, and I guess with every quarterback, you project what you want or your ideal is. I heard the comparison, and it ain't there. That, everybody loves Cam because of he's got such a live arm, that he's just got a howitzer for an arm. And whenever I hear that, I start thinking Achilles Smith and Jamarcus Russell.
Yeah.
Because when you think back to them, you couldn't justify the picks except for, have you seen him throw?
Well, we'll see. We'll see if it works out. Number 2, the Cleveland Browns take Abdul Carter. Says the opportunity to pair Carter with Myles Garrett is too tempting to resist, which that is kind of frightening.
Goes without saying, man.
Number 3, Travis Hunter. Says New York could take a quarterback here despite having a trio of veterans on the roster. They're hosting Shedeur Sanders, but they like maybe they're hosting Shedeur Sanders to ask him about Travis Hunter. Hey, so what do you think of Travis?
What do you think of that girl he's dating?
He gets there, and they're like, all right, sit down, Shedeur. Hey, good to have you in. What do you think of Travis?
What's going on?
Congratulations on the Hall of Fame thing.
We just used your visit so we could ask you about Travis. Number 4, the Patriots. Will Campbell, tackle out of LSU. Looks like his little short arms, people are over it already.
Little gator arms. He's all right.
They're like, well, I guess he's still going to work. All right. Here it has Jacksonville taking Tyler Warren, Penn State tight end. It says they want to give Trevor Lawrence as many resources as possible. That would do it. You had him and Brian Thomas Jr. Got some things piling up there. Number 6. Now, this is interesting because the same person has been mocked to number 6 for weeks and weeks in every mock I've read, and his name's been Ashton Genty. It's basically been a given that the Raiders are going to take Ashton Genty. Well, here it says Raiders take Shedeur Sanders. And he makes a good point here. He says, let's remember that Pete Carroll has doubled down at quarterback before. After they signed Matt Flynn, they drafted Russell Wilson, and they said one of these guys is going to work out. So we brought in Geno Smith. It's not crazy to think that Sanders, who has a relationship with Tom Brady apparently, wouldn't be drafted to come in and challenge Geno Smith for that job.
Shedeur reminds me a lot of Russell. They're a lot alike, these guys. I mean, there's a certain kind of persona, whether it's real or not. That's, I'm great, and you'll tell me how great I am.
Let's ride.
But there is a skill set that's kind of similar. I mean, I think Shedeur's bigger, but he might not be as athletic. Yeah. But there is something to this, and it would be actually, in the grand scheme of things, it'd be dumb because of the money they're paying Geno. They paid him a bunch of money. But it would be the first smart move the Raiders have made in quite a long time in actually planning for the future. Not about now or not about yesterday, but they're actually looking 2 years down the road. Are you kidding me? That's so un-Raider-like, it seems impossible.
Now, I don't believe this pick. It says Jets, 7, take Ashton Genty. Like, Breece Hall's been solid. Braylon Allen, they just drafted. Like, it feels like they've got enough running backs. They've got other things to worry about. I don't believe that'll be the pick, but
I'll tell you what, Cowboy fans high five, or Jerry high fives everybody if Ashton Genty slips. I think in his heart of hearts he wants Ashton.
I think so too.
He does.
Number 8, Carolina goes Mason Graham, defensive tackle from Michigan. Number 9, Saints take Jackson Dart, which if Shedeur's off the board, and we've talked about the Saints maybe being quarterback desperate.
No, I get it. I think they would draft Jackson Dart, just not there. I think if they saw Dart coming, they
would try to trade down.
Why? Nobody else is going after him.
I think so too. I think they would try at least to trade back into the teens.
As far back as possible. Yeah, anybody will take my pick with just something later. Yeah. Him being a Saint seems almost preordained. Yeah. It seems kind of perfect, but not at.
Let me get a 3rd round pick on top of this. Number 10, the Bears take Armand Mimbu, tackle from Missouri.
That's okay. Okay, we're at what now? We're at
10.
10. And how many defensive players have been drafted at 10? 2?
Mason Graham and Abdul Carr. Well, I guess Travis Hunter if you 2.5.
2.5.
2.5 out of 10.
I'm going to okay.
And I also, here's what I think about this draft. I think anytime people are kind of like hemming and hawing, like what should I do? And they've got a chance to take an offensive lineman, they're going to. We talked about it. We've talked about it a lot over the last couple of days. It's the one position that's hard to fake.
And there's a lot of defensive guys.
Yeah.
You feel like you can wait.
Offensive line, if you want an elite offensive lineman, you're going to have to get him in day one. It is what it is. Number 11, Jahad Campbell, the Alabama linebacker to San Francisco.
I'll bet here's a defensive run. Let's see what we go through here.
Number 12, the Dallas Cowboys.
Nope, not defense.
Tet McMillan, wide receiver from Arizona.
See, that is ill-informed. I think that the position's right.
But you don't think they like him?
Oh, I think they love him, but they love the idea, or Jerry loves the idea of UT. I think that if all things are being equal, he's going to draft the Longhorn.
I have not seen a receiver in some time that has as much there's people who love him and people who hate him, like Tet McMillan.
I didn't see enough of him, man. I don't know enough
6'4", 220.
His highlight film's ridiculous. I'll give him that, but I just didn't see enough of him. Does he do it every down? Can he go across? Can he take a hit and get up and play the next down? I didn't see enough to know.
Number 13, Jalen Walker, Georgia edge rusher to the Dolphins. 14, Colston Loveland, tight end from Michigan to the Colts. 15, Mykel Williams, Georgia edge rusher to the Falcons. We'll just look at some of the other notable names because it's got Arizona taking offensive line. Emeka Egbuka, number 18 to Seattle, another wide receiver off the board. Will Johnson, number 19 to Tampa. That's lower than I've seen him in a long time. He was top 10 and pretty much everywhere, but remember he still hasn't run a 40. Like he didn't run a 40 at the combine, didn't run a 40 at his pro day. And now I'm starting to want, even though I like him, I like the film on him, I'm like, is he slow? Like what am I?
If he ain't running, he ain't fast.
That's what I'm saying. If he were fast, he'd want to show people he's fast. Number 20, the Broncos take Omarion Hampton, the running back from North Carolina. 21, Pittsburgh takes Shamar Stewart, edge rusher from A&M. The Jahdae Barron, cornerback from Texas, goes 24 to Minnesota. Matthew Golden, the wide receiver from Texas, 26 to the Rams.
Boy, that's a fall.
That is a bit of a fall. 28, the Lions take Luther Burden, the third.
Another wide receiver.
And Kenneth Grant, the tackle from Michigan. It's got him dropping quite a bit, number 30 to Buffalo. All right, 3 hours in the books, 1 hour to go. We'll give away Alamo Heights Nights tickets coming up in the last hour. It is the Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Floresville.
Ahead of the field and throws it down with a right hand.
Your home for the NBA.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radio.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Perfect for instant contact with an aging parent. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get an extra 60% off, free UPS shipping, and add code RADIO for an extra 5% off.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com, sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Progressive understands that bond between you and your boat. But imagine if something happened to it. Without the boat, you're just Tina with too much boat knowledge. Sure, it's helpful on the water, but with no boat, you're someone who talks way too much about knots, and no one cares what a jib is anyway. Boat Tina could get away with it because she has a boat. So make sure your boat is insured. Get Progressive, America's #1 boat insurer, and then go back to being you, Tina, who owns a boat. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. #1 rating based on boat market share data from ratefilings.com.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Here'th my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover is accepted at the places I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times? You're playing the lute.
Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Hi, everyone. If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, we have legal professionals standing by to answer your questions. They'll tell you if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth. Call 800-931-3030. So if you've been injured in an accident and think you deserve compensation, call now. Find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth. Call 800-931-3030 to speak with a live person now.
Advertisement sponsored by Legal Help Center. May not be available in all states.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation.
Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row.
Groundworks is the official foundation repair company of Texas Athletics. Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star Traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We do have a few trouble spots as you head into your morning commute. 35 southbound Olympia Parkway. We've got a stall that's taking up a right lane. It's already slow along that 35 southbound corridor. Bandera just past Gilbo got an accident. I-10 westbound Dominion, disabled vehicle that's off to the right lane. Now, if you guys see something we're not talking about, call us on the traffic tip line so we can check it out. But pretty much most all our major freeway systems are slowing down. That traffic tip line number is 210-785-2601. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
San Antonio Sports Center.
We go from in to off tonight as the NBA playoffs finalize the play-ins at the 8th seed. First, we get Miami taking on Atlanta. The tip-off set for 6, followed by the Mavs heading to Memphis as they take on the Grizz with a tip-off for 8:30. You can catch both games on San Antonio's ESPN AM 1250 and 103.3 FM. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
9:02 on the Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Almost there.
Yeah, baby. Baby. That's the other thing. Listen to this Aaron Rodgers stuff. The Jets were so smart to just get out of this thing and move on from him. Like, because there was talk about the Jets sticking out this contract and sucking in that last year.
And he acts like it was his decision.
Oh, yeah.
He acts like, I decided it probably wasn't best to go back. And so you did, huh? I thought it'd be best if I didn't go back. They might throw stuff at me.
But he talks about you know what? I'm going to go and play it. This Jets conversation. I've got the clip here. If it's what I heard yesterday, Aaron Rodgers talks about how he flew out to talk to the Jets on his own dime. Like I'm hoping he'll talk about having to foot the bill.
For
his flight to go get fired by the Jets.
That was an interesting 2 years to say the least. But I figured that when I flew across country on my own dime, that there was going to be a conversation. And the confusing thing to me, and the strange thing was, when I went out there, I meet with the coach. We start talking. He runs out of the room. I'm like, that's kind of strange. I was like, then he comes back with the GM, and I'm like, all right. So we sit down in the office, and I think we're going to have this long conversation. I've flown across the country, and 20 seconds in, he goes, literally, I'm talking to the GM about something, and he leans to the edge of his sheet and goes, so do you want to play football? And I was like, yeah, I'm interested. And he said, we're going a different direction at quarterback. And I said, and I was kind of shocked. Now, not shocked because I didn't think that was a possibility. Listen, of course, they want to move on. That's totally fine. But shocked because I just flew across country. You could have told me this on the phone. If we weren't even going to have a conversation, and this is verbatim exactly how it happened. So I said, huh? And he goes, we just want to know how you want it released. The messaging. And I said, verbatim, I don't give a shit about the message. And I said, why? And then he said, I don't want to be up in front of the room saying something and have guys looking back at you. And I said, what does that even mean? Are you assuming that I would be in the back of the room during a team meeting undermining what you're saying? I said, you don't know me. And he said, you don't know me. And then I said, exactly, which is why I flew across the country to have a face-to-face meeting with you to talk about my experience with the Jets and to hear your vision for the team. 20 seconds in. What I thought was going to be a couple-hour meeting turned into like a 15-minute meeting, and I walked out of there. But
so at that moment,
that was strange. That was a strange meeting for sure. There was no me pleading like, "Please have me on the team." No,
dude, they hate
I don't want any
you.
part of that. It was already a debacle.
Do you get the sense that he showed up at the Jets headquarters and everybody was like, "What the hell is he doing here?" I get the sense that Aaron Glenn, why the hell is Aaron Rodgers here? I thought we told him not to come back.
It is funny because these are listen. I fully believe Aaron Rodgers is a cancer, and I believe he is a pain in the ass. And he's done. But both these things can be true. Aaron Rodgers can be that, and the Jets can be a dysfunctional mess.
They are dysfunctional, but Aaron Glenn,
they are both. This is like pot and kettle here. Like these are some. This is a bad situation.
I would have asked McAfee. This is a legitimate question, dude. Did they know you were coming? Seriously. Did they know you were coming? It sounds like somebody said, hey, man, Aaron Rodgers just pulled up. Hey, Aaron, go find the GM. Or the GM's like, oh, yeah, that's right. He told me he was coming in. I forgot to tell you. And then Aaron Glenn, by that, he had no plans for him. Like, you want to play football? You know we're going to cut you. And I want to tell you to your face. I don't know why the hell you're even here.
Yeah. It's the first time Aaron Rodgers has been fired, which I'm sure he's bitter about. But
he thought they wanted him back. He legit felt like he wanted to hear their vision of where the Jets were going to go so he would deem them worthy of him coming back. That's, in his mind, what he thought was about to happen.
And this is the Aaron Rodgers. I swear, he says he doesn't have a PR person, but he has to.
Oh, I get
because the way he spins it like this, well, why couldn't you just do it on the phone? Here's the thing, though. if Aaron Glenn had called Aaron Rodgers and told him that, he would have said, "Why? I can't believe you didn't do this face to face.
You're not a man.
Yeah, you
like
couldn't fire me face to face. You had to call me on the phone and tell me I'm done." I mean, there's there was no win in the PR world for the Jets here because Aaron Rodgers wasn't going to let there be.
Well, has Aaron ever taken responsibility for anything?
No, he doesn't.
Ever.
But if anything, what we saw yesterday, if anything, confirmed that the Jets made the right move by getting the hell out of the Aaron Rodgers business.
Oh, man. Aaron Glenn wouldn't have taken the job if they just said, you know what, we're going to do everything we can to get Rodgers back 2 more years.
Yeah.
I'll stay in Detroit.
And now, here we go. The Steelers about to go into the same damn mode.
I don't know if they're gonna. I think he's desperate now. I think Aaron has told everybody, look, I'll play on the cheap. I'm going through some stuff, so, call me. I might have to say no, so I'll get, at least I'll have an out because you might only offer me half that or make a play-in deal. So I have an out because, I'm going, not me, I have a friend who's going through some stuff.
Yeah, a guy in my really, really, really tight circle.
I might not be able to practice fully, and I certainly can't guarantee my services for an entire year, but I'll take $10 million.
My very, very, very.
But first, I want to know the vision for your team, Aaron, before I deem this worthy. I flew out here on Southwest.
Are you sure you want to play football? Yeah, I want to play football.
Well, we're going here.
We're going a different direction. You're fired. God, I wish I could have been in that meeting. How great would it have been to be in that meeting?
Oh, right. You're emptying the trash as a janitor.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You sure you want to play? Because we're going to put you on the unable to perform list.
And he gets on the edge of his seat and he says, "You sure you want to play football?" And Aaron goes, "Yeah, I'm interested." What kind of response is that?
Why do you ask?
And then he says, "We're going a different direction." And then he goes, when he's saying, "You think I'm going to be in the back of the room undermining what you say? You don't know me." And he says, "Well, you don't know me, bro." It's
precisely
such a crazy conversation for a head coach and a player to be having. You don't know me. Yeah, but you don't know me either. Well, yeah, that's why I flew. Aaron Rodgers does have a point. Yeah, I flew out because I didn't know you. I was thinking we're going to get to know each other, but
Aaron
Glenn
could have said, well, sadly, I know you.
Yeah.
Sadly, I know you. And you could say you won't be in the back of the room cutting up, but metaphorically, you are in the back of the room whenever you are on a roster. No matter where you are, you're always the elephant in the room, no matter what team you've ever been on. And you're exactly right by what you said. You don't know me, and you never will.
You mentioned earlier Cal football. This is there's a big story right now at Cal. There's been real talk about how much longer the Cal football program is going to exist.
I think that's not surprising.
10 outgoing transfers this week. Now, they had 22 total outgoing transfers off a team that was 6-7 last year, which
is surprising, actually.
Yeah, 6-7, not
Better
bad.
than I thought they were.
Of the 22 total outgoing transfers, 18 of them played offense. All 5 running backs transferred this week.
Jeez.
Think about that.
Well,
you're the 5th string running back at Cal. 4 guys ahead of you transfer, and you could look at it as, I'm the starting running back now. And that 5th string running back was like, "No, I'm out. I'm out of here."
Get out of here.
So apparently the big report is 2 high-profile donors that are both tied to the collective at Cal, the Money Collective, publicly vowed to stop giving to the athletic department unless newly appointed GM Ron Rivera was given more power. Basically wanting
our Ron Rivera?
That Ron Rivera.
Is the general manager of the Cal football team?
Riverboat Ron, yes.
Dude, all right,
They wanted him to be Cal's version of Andrew Luck, who
is the Stanford GM.
And he's got all the power of the football program to hire and fire and all of that. The donors wanted Rivera to run football, not the AD and not Justin Wilcox, the head coach. They want someone else to oversee all of it. They were kind of.
So who's the athletic director?
A guy named Jim Knowlton.
Well, we have what we're calling, this appears to be a palace coup. One of these guys will not survive this.
It's hard to believe. They think that Rivera, who's a Cal alum, should be at the controls.
I didn't know he went to Cal.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
The boosters think that he will put football first and is not as likely to leave in the next few years as Wilcox.
Where's Ron going to go, seriously?
They said, you don't hire Mario Andretti and ask him to sit in the passenger seat. There's a reason you bring someone like that on the staff, and it's to give them control. Now, multiple sources have said that Cal does actually spend NIL money.
Yeah, they've got a fair amount. All that Silicon Valley money.
But it's a handful of guys who pay it, and if they say we're out, then, well
they've got a good deal. The ACC money's coming. They're making at least as much as they did in the Pac-12, but the outlay is such they can't quit football. I think that might knock them right out of the conference. So I think they're going to have to play. They're just going to be terrible. But I mean, they joined the ACC. They're getting good checks. I didn't know Riverboat Ron was there. I tell you this: if it comes down to a power struggle, I bet Ron wins.
Jaden Ott, who is now going to be at Oklahoma. He was their best running back, their best player by far last year. It was less than 24 hours after he entered the transfer portal, he signed with Oklahoma.
I bet they've never even talked before.
Yeah, I'm not saying that there was something in place, but
I had no idea.
It was just
where Oklahoma was on a map.
It was a whirlwind marriage. Yeah. But then the idea that they lost, so they knew they were expecting to lose him. They were also prepared for the loss of three other running backs: Kadarius Callaway, Byron Cardwell, and Justin Williams-Thomas, with the expectation that they would lean heavily on Javion Thomas, who led the team in rushing last year when Ott was hurt. Well, and then it was announced that Thomas had entered the portal as well. So now they have a guy named Jamal Wiley, who has 6 career rushes, that is likely to be the bell cow running back, and a freshman named Anthony League, who that looks like what they're going to have. Now, they've had a ton of offensive staff turnover on the coaching department, and that could have something to do with it. Brian Harsin is the new OC. They're saying maybe he's not a great culture fit. You know, he was a guy who it didn't take him long to get canned at Auburn. Maybe he rubs kids the wrong way. I don't know.
Oh, I'm reading a press release from just 3 weeks ago. Julian Griffin, the running backs coach for Cal, has inherited one of the most complete groups on the Cal's roster as he steps in as the new running backs coach at Berkeley.
Welp.
I talk about rubbing the wrong way. You know, you guys, you're all worthless and weak. We're never running the ball again. You're all super tackles. You're just going to block.
And the other thing is, I don't know how much longer the ACC is going to exist.
Well, they made a deal. They signed. Clemson is in for the duration. They finally worked that out, and so is Florida State. I think they've hammered in that everybody going to get their just desserts, and some are going to get more than others. SMU is still a part of this thing on a free ride. I think the ACC is, they're not going anywhere, but they certainly aren't going up.
I think the new deal is through 2030.
Yeah.
It means you've got 6 years to figure out.
Well, I don't see Cal making it in the ACC. I think that there's enough afoot there, and they're kind of a brainy school. Yeah. I think they could justify to their alumni, look, let's just back out and we'll just play basketball and we'll find us a conference.
I think that's what's going to end up happening.
You can kind of feel that coming.
Or they're going to play in the Mountain West or something like that.
Something like that, and back off a little bit.
But they probably also really want to be where Stanford is.
You get the sense that
and who knows if Stanford survives the ACC either, right?
I think Stanford feels like they have to be. They've got the money. They can afford it.
Yeah.
We got to be big time because everything else is big time here.
Then then Cal is going to want to stick with it too.
And that might be enough to keep them there. But I do think that while Stanford, there would never be a question about quitting football. Never. But in Cal, I get it.
The ACC exit fee drops to $75 million in 2030, which happens to be the same year the Big Ten's media rights deal expires.
Mm-hmm. So that we could shuffle the deck one more time.
So the Big Ten adds 6 more teams, and then we're all back.
Reform some kind of weird Pac-12 conference at that point.
Who knows what it'll be?
My guess would be.
All right, let's hit a break. When we come back, we'll talk about what's going on in the world outside of sports. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning as we wrap up our morning rush hour and into the midday. Heads up in and around Travis Park from 10 to 1 o'clock, the Passion Play. So expect delays in and around Travis Park as the procession makes its way to San Fernando Cathedral. That will start at 10 o'clock and roll through 1 o'clock. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies, offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Perfect for instant contact with an aging parent. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get an extra 60% off, free UPS shipping, and add code radio for an extra 5% off.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
I don't understand the fetishes of the feet thing and all that. I don't get it.
So what is your line for weirdness?
My wife has really long hair and it smells good. That's nice.
What about her feet? Suck on her toes?
No, I don't suck on her toes. That's nasty. Nobody needs to be sucking on toes.
Well, there's the promo for the show this week.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
The sports calendar is heating up, and with ESPN Bet Sportsbook, you can go from checking news and stats to placing bets in just a couple of taps. Stream games, bet live, and get exclusive offers when you link your ESPN account. Right now, you can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code JOEQ to get started today. That's JOEQ, Joe Q. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Switching to Progressive is a game-winning call. And that reminds us of other game-winning calls in the history of sports.
So it was the fourth quarter and we're down by 5. Sweat pouring down my face. Suddenly it hit me. If only I could wrap part of the towel around my forehead. And that's how I became the first basketball player to wear a headband.
Okay, not really a game-winning call, but it was a good call. You can make one too. Switch to Progressive and you could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
Hey, listen up, San Antonio. Multiple tours overseas, long nights monitoring cyber activity, years of protecting the country. It all adds up at University of Maryland Global Campus. Earn up to 90 credits for prior learning, military experience, and training. We call that credit where credit is due. Whether you're active duty and looking at what's next, or a veteran looking for something new, our degrees and certificate programs teach the application of emerging technologies and enduring life skills. So get started on a degree or certificate with personalized local support services and online and hybrid courses right here in San Antonio. At UMGC, you'll find everything from online to hybrid courses and lifetime career services to scholarship opportunities, making your education journey flexible, fast, and affordable. Apply now and save with no application fee through May 30th. Visit UMGC at San Antonio or umgc.edu/SATX.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com, sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
You're locked on the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's showtime!
Used to read Word Up magazine. Salt, pepper, and Heavy D up in the limousine. Oh, man. Thanks, Vic. Made it a good day. Sipping on private stock, Rob? With the hat to match.
Sipping on that IPA.
Are you judged by the... I wonder what Biggie thinks about his boy.
I don't know. Yeah, he's probably disappointed.
Allowed to talk about the parties that Biggie might have attended?
He's probably disappointed.
Allowed to bring that up?
Hey, this is a weird thing. There's a band, and you know, bands have to have a catchy name to make people either be intriguing or sound cool or dangerous.
Hooba stank.
Yeah, or at least make you go, what the hell does that mean?
Velvet Revolver.
Velvet Revolver.
Yeah, I like
cool
that.
Name, right?
Yeah.
It's a cool name.
Steel Dragon.
Yeah. Steel Panther.
That's right. That's even better.
That's right. What about a band called the New Pornographers?
What's wrong with that?
Nice.
I mean, it's kind of edgy, right?
What genre is it?
Wow.
I know. That 70s guitar.
I don't know I don't know what genre it is, but it's a bunch of middle-aged white people.
So how can it be new pornography?
Well, one of the members of the band took the name a little too literally.
Made some film.
Oh no.
Joe Siders, the longtime drummer of rock collective The New Pornographers, was arrested in Palm Desert for possession of pornography that was a little bit too new. As in,
their new pornography.
As involving children. Yeah, way too new pornography. He was arrested after officers were dispatched to investigate a report of suspicious activity at a Chick-fil-A where an 11-year-old boy told officers that an unknown man had recorded him on a cell phone while he was using the bathroom.
Oh, my God.
2 days later, police said an employee at the same restaurant reported that the man was seen entering and exiting the room with juvenile males. That man was eventually identified as 44-year-old Joseph Siders of Palm Desert. He was taken into custody. They served search warrants on his residence, vehicle, and cell phones, and they found evidence implicating him in both of those incidents and many, many more additional crimes, including possession of child pornography, annoying/molesting a child, invasion of privacy, and attempted invasion of privacy. Everyone in the band is absolutely shocked, horrified, and devastated by the news of the charges against Joe Siders, and we've immediately severed all ties with him. Our hearts go out to everyone who's been impacted by his actions.
You'd hope so.
Can you imagine finding out that one of your bros is a total
know.
pederast? You're like, man,
damn it.
How did I not know, first of all?
We're about to go on tour, Joe.
Thanks a lot.
Well, you know you're going to have to change your band name. We can't keep the name.
That's the only reason this story's interesting.
Yeah, we're gonna have to move
change
on
up
from
our
this.
name.
We cannot be the New Pornographers.
No, we've got to come up with
Sorry, man. I'm gonna have to call a band meeting.
Yeah,
we cannot be called this because now and now let's welcome to the stage. No.
Let's not do this. It's like, what is it? Lady Antebellum had to go. Well, you know, we're gonna have to change our name.
Yeah,
we're changing this one on the fly. Changing this one on the fly. We got a new name. I don't know what it is.
It's called On the Fly.
The New Peas. We're on the fly. There we go.
There we go.
It's a good one.
On the Fly.
Oh, I would call my band. That guy's not one of us.
Not that guy.
Yeah, there we go.
We ain't him.
There we go. And welcome. We ain't him.
We ain't him.
Welcome. That's a different guy.
We have a new drummer. Don't shoot the drummer.
Now, welcome to the stage, our brand new drummer who none of you have ever met.
And has never touched a child, to
this
our
is
knowledge.
A good guy, normal guy, stand-up dude.
Clean record.
Carl! Clean record Carl! Everybody say hello. Clean record Carl.
Never had to register as a sex offender. Anywhere he's ever been.
Never
Welcome
once.
to the stage.
Maybe not something I would have expected, where measles is now, it's found its way into the Army.
It's cool now, too.
Fort Bliss confirms measles on base.
No way.
Yeah.
I thought you had to be inoculated to be in the Army.
Yeah, right. Aren't they like
They
20
gave you those
times?
shots and you walked in the door.
Now,
Or at the
you
recruitment
do.
office. Yeah.
But
Or at
your
Matt-
family that's on base,
Hey,
your kids, they're not all inoculated.
Oh, yeah.
But now you've got an outbreak on post.
This is scary because that's a lot of close quarters.
Oh, yes.
It's all right. We got a Secretary of Health that's on top of the job.
Now, well, no, he's busy working on autism. He's fixing autism.
He's blaming them.
He's finding the cause.
Well, we have till September to find the answer for that. Yes, we do.
Speaking of our politicians that work for us, we may need to fact check this. But President Trump said yesterday that gas prices are down to $1.98 in some places. Gas hit $1.98 in a couple of states yesterday. The two states that are
Not here.
No. It's just a flat out. It's just wrong. Yeah, that's not true. No state had an average gas price even close to $1.98 this week. The two states with the lowest average gas price, Mississippi and Tennessee, were both at $2.70 per gallon. The average price is still $3.17.
Only $1 or so off. I mean, there's this new word that he told me about. It's called groceries.
The lowest price found in the country on Wednesday, there was a gas station in Abilene, Texas. It was at $2.19. But
Was it a sicko?
Doesn't say what.
I'm not sure.
What
That's
kind,
like Ralph's gas station, bro.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
That just came out of a.
Yeah.
I got some extra gas in the back of this truck.
No,
You want it cheap?
It's because a pump's so old, the price is broken, so it shows that, and they can't fix it. That's why it's $2.19.
The rolling wheels.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I remember in the 90s when gas was below $1 or right at $1. And now, like, I tell my kid about that. I'm like, yeah, it was like.
I remember buying gas
99 cents a gallon.
off of Military Drive at Kmart at the gas station there for 89 cents.
Oh, yeah.
When I started driving.
$10 fill a tank.
Yeah.
Man.
89 cents a gallon.
Good old days.
Yeah.
That's when we were walking to school both ways.
And that's
uphill
when
in the
McDonald's
snow.
meals were like $5.
Yes.
I mean, don't worry. I'm sure it'll get back to that eventually. Right?
Maybe.
Oh, gas at oh yeah, it'll be $1.98 a liter though. We'll have $1.98, but it'll be just a smaller unit of
and it'll
measure.
be called petrol.
Yeah, it'll be petrol, and it'll be served to you by the jar instead of the gallon.
Lamar Independent School District, about 30 minutes outside of Houston, has removed a section from their online learning platform that involves the state of Virginia, which, if you know anything about the history of our country, Virginia plays a fairly significant role in a lot of it.
The Commonwealth of Tommy J's home.
They, I don't know if are you aware of what the Virginia state flag looks like?
No, I don't
Vic?
remember.
There's a gal on the state flag of Virginia, and she has an exposed boobie.
Okay.
And because of that exposed boobie on the flag, Lamar Independent School District has decided to stop teaching about the state of Virginia.
What?
On their online learning platform. Texas Freedom to Read Project, Ann Rusi says this.
And she's standing on a dead dude. Have
Yes.
you seen this flag?
Yeah.
This is a pretty interesting flag.
It is arguably the coolest flag.
Who
that we
approved?
have.
Who approved this?
A Amazon boobed woman standing on a dude. I appreciate this.
I mean, it's
pretty intense.
We don't talk about it enough. That we do have a state with a flag of a naked lady who is apparently just
killed a dude,
murdered her husband. I like to picture her murdering her husband.
Semper Tyrannis. Isn't that what?
Was it a former member of the New Pornographers that created that flag?
No, that woman's way too old for
Okay.
him to be interested in that. Way too old. But yeah.
I never noticed that.
So instead, so what we're gonna do is just pretend like the state of Virginia just it's not a thing anymore.
Can't they just put a pasty?
I hate to break this in, but
put a pasty.
their state motto,
Mm-hmm.
Sic Semper Tyrannis.
Is it like death to tyrants or something like that?
That's exactly what John Wilkes Booth screamed as he shot
honest
Abe
Abe.
Lincoln.
No way.
I'm not saying I'm blaming the state of Virginia or the one boobied lady.
weird folk.
Down here in Texas, we don't cotton to one boob. We want two of them. And if
Yeah.
you're only going to show us one, what's the point? We will no longer discuss your fair Commonwealth state.
The reason
Just
why
one.
that she used to not have either boob exposed, but the governor of Virginia has the same problem that I do, where he always is curious of what nipples look like, and he said, "Let's redo the flag, but with one boobie out."
We call them nipple freedom.
And
Freedom nipples.
They were like, "Are you sure, Governor?" And he was like, "Oh yeah, I got to know. I got to know what it looks like under there." And that's how it's stuck.
If you're going to do it, Virginia, go all in. What's that? We want both nipples. We don't want just one nipple.
But I love how that state flag is enough to just pretend like, no, we're not going to teach our kids about Virginia anymore. Like,
they glorify nipples.
Yeah, we're good.
We're good people down here.
All right.
God-fearing people, really.
This is God's country.
He doesn't want us to see nipples.
That's right. All right. Let's hit our last break of the day, and when we come back, we will we're gonna give away tickets to Alamo Heights Night, April 25th at Incarnate Word, and we're gonna take a look at the daily lines, which is how we wrap up the show every day. Oh, you know what? I've got one more story, non-sports story.
Oh, go for it.
A man had been arrested and was being detained. He was going to be deported in Florida. And now they're already looking into a lawsuit now because even though Florida now has strict new anti-immigration laws, it turns out that this guy is what we call a Native American. So he was not of Latin descent. He was not Hispanic. He is an American Indian.
OG.
But yeah, like born in this country, and his family was apparently in this country long before the Pale Eyes. And so now he's like
Pale Eyes.
They did the whole ICE came and got him, and it's like they held on to him for 48 hours.
Dude, we painted my great grandfather's picture on the wall on the cave over there. You telling me I'm not from here?
Yeah. He's 20 years old. He's born in Georgia. He was put under arrest following a traffic stop in which he was the passenger. The trooper made the traffic stop because the driver was going 78 and a 65. And when they pulled him over, they said, they asked him if he was a U.S. citizen, and he was like, yeah. And they asked him for proof.
Don't look like it.
They asked him for proof, which I guess he didn't have his ID on him.
You have your papers?
Yeah, do you have
papers, please?
Papeles?
The papers?
After they inspected his Social Security card and birth certificate in the courtroom, the judge said we found no probable cause to hold him any longer than the 48 hours we had.
You're welcome to go, sir.
But your dark skin tone did require us to keep you here for 48 hours.
Probable. Driving while.
You never know.
Native.
Driving while native.
Got a DWN.
You don't look American to me.
You look like you're not driving while Indian. Can't say that. Driving while native.
Let's take our last break. It's the Morning Huddle 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
If you miss the Blitz with Jason and Joe, then you miss this.
Coach Wade Phillips, I know you love it when TV guys question you. Radio guys are okay, but TV guys?
No, I appreciate you guys. You do a hell of a job.
Thank you, Coach.
Don't tell anybody I said that.
I won't. No, we won't. We won't make that a promo at all. I promise.
Right home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Hi there, I'm John O'Hurley. You know our pets are beloved family members. But sadly, though, there are so many dogs that get euthanized every day due to the lack of funding. To give them a chance at adoption, I invite you to support Puppy Food Bank. Thanks to generous donors like you, all of the food sent to pet shelters from Puppy Food Bank never comes with a bill. So please go to puppyfoodbank.org and make a generous, caring $15 donation every month. Your donation will absolutely save pet lives.
If you've been injured in an accident, you know there's no shortage of attorneys who want your business. But when it comes to results, the numbers speak for themselves. Thomas J. Henry secured over $1 billion for clients in the past 4 years. We've successfully represented thousands of injured Texans, earning over 12,000 five-star reviews on Google. So, who is the right attorney for you? Just look at the numbers. Thomas J. Henry, the name you know, the firm you trust. San Antonio, Texas.
I can't sleep.
What is it now?
It's the company. It's chaos.
What's chaos now?
The numbers, the expenses, the books. What if we get audited?
No one's gonna audit you at 3 a.m. Go to sleep.
I can't sleep.
You could if you used Ramp.
Who said that?
I don't care because they're right. Go to sleep and sign up for Ramp in the morning, Jerry.
Ramp is the corporate card that handles all your tedious financial operations automatically, integrates directly with your ERP, and gives you complete control over every transaction. Ramp gives you everything you need for bulletproof books and a better night's sleep.
Wow, that is exactly what my company needs.
Yes, and exactly what I also need. Go to sleep, Jerry.
Upgrade to Ramp for free today and get $250 at ramp.com/radio. Ramp.com/radio. That's ramp.com/radio.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
The sports calendar is heating up, and with ESPN Bet Sportsbook, you can go from checking news to stats to placing bets in a couple of taps. Stream games, bet live, and get exclusive offers when you link your ESPN account. Right now, you can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Vivid Seats is your ultimate destination for basketball and hockey this season. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every one-timer and buzzer-beating 3 live and in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Don't miss out. Visit VividSeats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
No two people learn the exact same way. So how did Babbel become the award-winning language learning app? We thought of you, all of you. Take Sierra. As a visual learner, she uses Babbel's wordplay videos.
Today I'll share a quick lesson on shopping in French.
Merci beaucoup. Keith is a be-in-the-room-with real people kind of learner, so he loves the live online classes with our language experts.
Okay, class. Vos está pronto.
Estamos prontos.
However you learn, Babbel makes it easy. Try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. BABBEL.com.
Empower. Tim collects bobbleheads. A lot of bobbleheads. Baseball bobbleheads. Race car bobbleheads. Little chihuahua bobbleheads. He's got an entire room strictly for bobbleheads. Does he need them? No. Is his wife mad about it? A little. But Tim works with Empower, and he got good at money, so he can be a little bad. Ooh, horse bobblehead. Classy, Tim. Empower. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
Whether you're shaping up a small yard or tackling serious acreage, Steel walk-behind zero-turn and stand-on mowers are built to get the job done. Shop online or at your local Steel dealer. Steel. Let's go mow.
This is Jason Minix from The Blitz, and you're listening to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Don't you know? Don't you know?
This is
things
so...
change.
I
Things
don't know
can
why
go your way.
you enjoy this.
What do you mean?
I mean, it's been just one after another. The other three I'll accept. This one.
Yeah.
This one.
Hold on for one more day. Oh, what a song.
Yeah, this was played like every 30 minutes on the radio when it was out.
And that was enough.
I barely remember it being out originally.
Maybe that's why you adore it as much as you do now.
You're comfortable with the pain.
Yeah, AJ's greatest hits on Friday.
The fat girls suddenly get those.
To blame for your unhappiness.
She's getting extra checks in the mail, and she has no idea why. And it's from a sports stock station in San Antonio.
And your worries pass you by.
Got enough to get a whole bucket of chicken this week.
Yeah.
Don't you think it's worth
and a full tank
time?
of gas.
Change your mind.
$1.98 a gallon. We all have.
Someday somebody's gonna make you wanna turn around and say goodbye. Till then, baby, are you gonna let them hold you down and make you cry? Don't you know? Don't you know? Things can change. Things can go your way if you hold on for one more day.
Yeah.
If you hold on for one more day, things will go your way. Hold on for one more day. I know that there is pain.
So did you see
but
this
you can
earlier?
hold on for one more day.
On our Twitter.
Sorry.
We got a tweet from Brian Cipher.
No.
What happened?
This came out. I read this morning, and I've been laughing about it all morning. I'm glad somebody else saw it. This is on Barstool. Mike Leach allegedly once had to be talked out of putting a little person in the
I remember
backfield
hearing about this.
throwing him over the line of scrimmage in short yard situations.
Oh yeah, that's a true story, I believe.
Yeah.
What? We talked about this. This was like, I don't know how long ago it was, like 8 or 10 years ago.
I missed it, and I wish I had been a part of this.
Yeah, his plan was to get a little person that just had really strong grip strength.
Okay.
And
just chunk that little dude over the line.
Basically hand him,
holding
have the quarterback hand the ball to him and immediately grab him and whip him over the line.
Sling him up. What have we been waiting on? We have been discussing the wrong thing.
Tush push my ass.
Let's do this.
It's the dwarf toss.
Hey, man, it opens up a new position. It'd be kind of like a
It is.
DEI
I mean, it's a specialized
hire,
job.
a diversity hire.
It's a specialized job, man. Like,
or maybe we just throw the kicker.
It could be.
This has got to be.
I don't think that's satire. I really think he thought, like, in his mind, he thought about it as like, if he could hold on to the football,
we could chunk that little dude maybe 15 feet.
Yeah.
UFL, you're on the clock. Next year, I'm expecting big things from little dudes.
All right, let's give away these tickets. What do we got here? Alamo Heights Night, Vic, is that right? Alamo Heights Night, April 25th at Incarnate Word. Let's go caller number 5. You'll win tickets to Alamo Heights Night over there at Incarnate Word. Ren said I shouldn't go over there because word on the street is I don't like Incarnate Word. No, it's not that I don't like Incarnate Word. I just don't want to spend time talking about their football.
Let me tell you, who said this?
Ren.
Ren, we care more about Incarnate Word sports than y'all do.
Yeah.
You and I care more about Incarnate Word sports than the Incarnate Word student body.
You think so?
We talk about it more, even as little as we do.
Yeah.
So don't dog us.
Yeah.
Don't walk around that campus.
Yeah, Ren.
How much talk you getting anywhere else on any other station in the city? Anywhere. That you didn't buy.
We admit that there's a football team there.
Yes. We've spoken to the coaches. We've talked to the basketball.
We verified there's a football team.
Yeah, I double-checked.
I double-checked, yeah.
All right, let's
I mean, I've watched more than one highlight on my phone of Incarnate Word.
I know where it is.
Chris says what's crazy is he knows all the lyrics to these songs.
Well, there you have it.
See, that's what
we
it's
all
not
have
crazy.
our skills. We all have our skills in life.
It's disturbing, is what it was.
No,
when you really sit back and think about the lyrics this guy knows. I'm just saying.
you know the lyrics because you were with the girl at the time.
Yeah.
You had to, just like you said, like you had to like Duran Duran to get the girls. The same thing with Wilson.
I don't think that's true.
Wilson Phillips did not get you.
Let me tell you something. If I would have never, ever let a girl find out I was listening to Wilson Phillips when I was in my formative years. There's no way.
Would you hide the cassette and throw it under the,
what's funny
the
is
seat?
So Wilson Phillips is not something I listened to like when Wilson Phillips was big.
Right.
I never that kind of music never would have crossed my mind to listen to in 1990.
Oh, sure.
But
AJ.
as an older man,
you like
please,
it. Yeah.
like I'm denying something. I'm admitting to listening to it as a 44-year-old man. You think suddenly I'm shy about admitting my musical taste?
You had a poster in your locker.
No.
In your high school locker.
I wasn't even in high school in 1990. I was 10 years old. I was fourth grade, 5th grade. I didn't listen to Wilson Phillips. Are
Did
you
you
crazy?
have a Culture Club cassette?
Grade in 90.
Yeah, I didn't.
Were you old enough to know who Culture Club was?
No, not in 1990.
Okay. You had a strange feeling when you saw that.
Like Boy
you
George.
felt a little dirty.
You didn't know who Boy George was?
No. All right, let's wrap up the show the way we always do. Take a look at the daily lines.
Dude knows the words, too, man.
It's the Morning Huddle's look at the daily lines with AJ and Ross on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hey, pretty funny little story here. My mom texted me. She went to school in Lamar Consolidated ISD, where they've banned any talk about the state of Virginia now, thanks to that exposed booby.
Lamar, that entire region.
It's like Rosenberg. It's like southwest of Houston.
There's an rotten eggy smell just everywhere there.
Oh, natural gas.
Natural gas is just there, and it affects your thought processes.
Yeah, that goes all the way down to Brazoria County. That's the whole that whole part of the state is. I grew up in that.
It explains a lot.
It does explain a lot.
Yeah, it does.
It slows down.
Very could well be a lot of what's wrong with me.
It opens up your music palette to just about everything.
B. Hannon didn't know who Wilson Phillips was till the movie Bridesmaid. I haven't seen the movie Bridesmaids. If it's got
that's funny.
If
you would like it.
Does
you
it
would like it.
If it features Wilson Phillips, I'll watch it.
It's a chick flick made like a dude movie.
Well,
listen. It's a chick flick a dude would like.
Yeah.
That way.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm now into. I've made it to season 4 of Righteous Gemstones. There's
a lot of dong in that.
There's a lot of full frontal. A lot of dude nude.
A lot of dong. A lot of meat flapping around in that show.
Nasty.
A lot of dude nudity.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
Yeah, it's a little much, but it's funny. But then sometimes it's like it lasts too long and it stops being funny.
You've zeroed in way too much on this.
Like
I shouldn't know. There's a mole there. I shouldn't know this.
Way too much. And by the way, I don't think there's a single pair of boobies in the whole show. They never show boobies.
No.
Not even side boob?
No.
Nothing?
No, but there's not really like any chicks that you want to see naked in the show.
Oh, okay.
But it's also like
a boob is a boob. Though.
They know that. I know. The difference is people don't think it's funny when boobs come out on movies. Like they do. Like there is a comedic aspect to
just a flapping dong
penis on television
around.
It's like that's pretty funny.
Hey, look at that.
Because it was so taboo for so long.
I didn't expect to see that.
That's right.
But after Nosferatu, nothing scares me.
Yeah, nothing's worse than that.
Nothing.
Yeah.
All right, let's look at the daily lines. Did you already play the song? Okay, good. All right. NBA today, Miami's at Atlanta. Miami -1 against the Heat, or against the Hawks. Who you going with tonight? Who's making the playoffs? I'm with you, man. I think Miami gets it done.
In just about every way, too. A first half, I like them across the board.
I think so, too. Dallas at Memphis. Dallas now +6. It opened at 7. I'm guessing a lot of this is maybe pessimism about the health of Ja Morant. I just feel like 6 is kind of a lot of points anyway. So I'm leaning towards Dallas. I like the under in this game, 221. I always say, man, this is a playoff game. There's going to be an intensity of this game that I think is higher than a regular season. So I'd be surprised if this was a super high scoring game.
If you like Dallas, you have to like the under. That's the only way they win.
Yep. So that's the way I'm going to be looking. The game's tomorrow. Bucks at the Pacers. Bucks +5.5 at the Pacers. Clippers +2.5 at Denver for game 1. Detroit +7. Minnesota +4 at the Lakers.
A lot of dogs. A lot of pretty dogs on Saturday.
Some of these,
a lot of upsets floating around there on Saturday.
I know you say Madison Square Garden's good home court advantage. I can't get to 7 points.
It's a big number.
That is
You're
an
right.
absurd number. Major League Baseball today. Got the early game out at Wrigley Field. Corbin Burns, who used to be a good pitcher, going for the Arizona Diamondbacks. They're at the Cubs. Colin Ray going for the Cubbies. It's a pick 'em, -110 both ways. I kind of lean to the Cubs. Corbin Burns seems like he used to be a good pitcher. He stinks now. Total's 11 in this game.
The wind blowing.
My guess is because the total's 11, it probably means the wind's blowing out.
Yeah.
Cole Reagans goes for the Kansas City Royals. They're -140 favorites at Jackson Jobe and the Detroit Tigers. That Jackson Jobe, he's supposed to be like a hot prospect kid for the Tigers. +120 are the Detroit Kitties. Luis Ortiz goes for the Guardians. They are -130 in Pittsburgh.
Did Pittsburgh lose anybody from the fight?
I don't think so. And I think they won the game yesterday 1-0 over the Guardians. Carmen Mlodzinski goes for the Pirates today. Mlodzinski.
Easy for you to say.
I
spell it with a L.
I think he's Dominican. Mlodzinski. That's my best guess. Sandy Alcantara and the Miami Marlins are at the Phillies. Zach Wheeler goes for the Phillies minus 220. Carlos Rodon goes for the Yankees today. They're minus 120 at Tampa at their own spring training facility. Drew Rasmussen goes for the Rays, even money coming back on them. Andrew Abbott and the Reds plus 140 at Baltimore. Cade Povich going for the Orioles minus 165. Brian Woo, who got pushed today. He didn't pitch yesterday. He'll pitch today minus 102 against Toronto. Bowden Francis goes for the Jays. They're minus 120. Cardinals are at the Mets. Miles Mikolas and David Peterson, your pitchers there. Mets minus 175, pardon me. Cardinals plus 145. Martin Perez goes for the White Sox. They're at the Red Sox. The Red Sox, the redder of the two Sox, minus 205. Chris Paddock and the Twins take their game to Atlanta to take on Bryce Elder and the Braves. Braves minus 150 there. Yoshinobu Yamamoto goes for the L.A. Dodgers. They are minus 135. In Arlington, taking on Jacob deGrom and the Texas Rangers.
Good matchup.
Good pitching matchup. Totals 8. Dare you go under in a game involving the L.A. Dodgers?
I can't. Even though deGrom throws some smoke, but 8 runs seems easily attainable.
JT Ginn, or Ginn, I don't really know, pitches for the A's. They're plus 140 at Milwaukee. Freddie Peralta goes for the Brewers. Kyle Hart goes for the Padres, plus 124 at Ryan Gusto and the Houston Astros.
Mucho gusto.
The Astros minus 150. Mucho minus 150. Mackenzie Gore and the Nationals minus 135 in Colorado. Chase Dollander goes for the Rockies. Logan Webb going for the Giants minus 155. They're at Tyler Anderson and the Angels. I can't, with good conscience, tell anyone to bet on the Angels after losing to Patrick Corbin with a spider bite. The Angels might be the worst team ever now. They've got to be in that discussion at this point. And the series lines are out for the NHL. We've talked a lot about who's going to win the series in the NBA. We haven't done much talking about the NHL. Winnipeg and St. Louis. All these games start tomorrow, by the way. Not all of them. Some start tomorrow. Some start Sunday. Winnipeg and St. Louis, the Jets are minus 190. Stars plus 120 taking on the Avalanche. Maple Leafs minus 170 against the Senators. Golden Knights minus 205 against the Wild. Capitals minus 320 against Montreal. Florida and Tampa minus 110 both ways. That does it for us, friends. We'll do it all over again on Monday. You guys have a good weekend and happy Easter.